The Crimson Diamond. We've played this for 3 streams, 10 hours. Second stream doesn't count, it was horrible. My fault. If you haven't been here, this is an EGA adventure game text parser adventure game released last week. We've had the fortune and pleasure of having the dev on our chat for most of our streaming, Maple Mystery. And it's really freaking good. It looks amazing. Amazing. I was gonna talk about the music and I mix everything. It looks amazing. It plays really well. I'm not a fan. Let me rephrase it. I love adventure games, but I don't play them because I'm horrible at them. This one is surprisingly reasonable, especially for a text parser. Like, if every... It's very reasonable, right? Like, it has a command, I'm gonna use it as soon as we start it. You're gonna see it, but it has a command called review. You type that, and it tells you, you know, this is what I'm doing, this is what I have to do next, this is what happened recently. And that's so freaking good. Like, imagine if every game that you play, you could come back to it months later and just ask it, what was I doing anyway? What should I do next? And the game just tells you. That's so freaking great. And you can use it to keep track of what you have to do. It's not like, I don't know where I have to go, and then you drop it for a week, you come back. I have no idea what I was doing. This game is very reasonable. Now, of course, every game, especially adventure game, has to have a little bit of bullshit in it. It's part of it. It actually makes it more enjoyable once you get past it. As long as it's not all the time, a little bit is fine. It had a very difficult spot on the 3rd chapter that I saw other streamers having trouble with as well, which is the cookie puzzle. The cookie puzzle is difficult. It's interesting. I wouldn't call it moon logic, but it requires you to think in a very specific way. And it's not trivial, and it gets compounded by the fact that you have to, and this is what I had trouble with, like the puzzle itself actually worked through all of it just fine. I had trouble finding the wax, and I was watching McCall stream after I raided him on Friday. He was playing this game. He was stuck on the same spot as I was for the cookie puzzle for a long time. And people said in chat, I think Maple Mystery said it, that when you see the description, when you finish the dinner at the dining room, it mentions that the wax from the candlesticks is on the table, that dripped from the candlesticks. I did not notice that, and I didn't find the wax, so that was problem number 1. The wax is not obvious to find, I guess. The second problem, and again, Maple Mystery said that this is shown if you type look in the kitchen, but again, it went over my head. The fact that there is a raw cookie that is different from the others. And that's where that's the 2 problems I had. I used 2 hints on that. I used 3 hints total, but 2 were for those 2 things. The puzzle itself, I managed to figure it out on my own. But those 2 problems, I didn't. But other than that, the game, and this is my main point, the game is very straightforward. Like, Maple Mystery was kind of prodding me in a few spots, stuff that I didn't look at properly. The game requires you to look at things carefully. And that's probably my main problem. I get a little bit... I rush a little bit, I forget to look at things. So that's probably why I had some trouble. And that's why I probably am not very good with adventure games. Maybe I lack the patience. Which is surprising. I have the patience to spend 4 hours grinding enemies in a dungeon to level up on a dungeon crawler, but I don't have the patience to pay attention to what I'm reading in an adventure game. It's mostly my fault, but if I could get through it, then it's reasonable, and I'm having a lot of fun actually. So let's go back over here. Now it's time to be here. Now it's correct. Let me open up the game, wait for capture. Come on. Come on. There you go. I was remembering this song earlier today. It's so freaking good, so freaking comfy. It's good. I'm gonna stay here for a little bit. So good. And then on the loop, it gets an additional track with some percussion. Listen, it's so good. Listen. And of course it stays comfy. It's amazing. Alright, let me start the timer. Now, we helped... there's no telling... Okay. Okay, I know. Sorry, I was just trying to explain to chat. Okay, so... we know that Nessa and Corvus had an altercation with Evan Richards, and they knocked him out, presumably, and they carried him all the way over here, but then there's no sign of him. Now, once we got enough evidence to tell all of that to Nathan, who was in here, and here is the bird that sounds like a phone to me. Once we told Nathan about that, he allowed us to continue our investigation here, and he was going to meet with Jack, and he told us to meet with them later. I want to be here and find more stuff about it in the smokehouse. Which is why, like, I tried to leave just to show you guys there's a trail of footsteps and whiskey on the floor outside that leads to here. But we can't leave. The game wants us to finish our investigation here before we do, which is fine. I just didn't know. Anyway, I'm gonna type a review and it's probably going to refresh that same information. See if I forgot any details. It's up to me to figure out what's happening here. Can I link anyone to what's gone on inside the smokehouse? What are all these fragments on the table? Maybe we should take a closer look at the floor. What about the walls? Anything informative there? Alright, so the game prods you in the right direction most of the time, which is good. Again, it just requires a little bit of patience, so let me look. An array of smoked meat and fish are hanging to dry and cure. A work table with a deeply scratched work surface is against one wall. You see a big bag of salt, a barrel, and a large pot. Smokehouse is in disarray. Debris covers the table and floor. There might even be something on the wall. Eek! What happened here? Look inside pot. Large pot is empty. Look inside barrel. Look at barrel. This looks like it might be a pickle barrel or a barrel for salted meat. Open barrel. Certainly can't pry it open with your bare hands. There's no real need for me to open it. Okay, so before you try, there's no reason to. Grab salt. Scoop up a handful of rock salt. I probably don't need it. I needed it to grab this. No, this is from the river. I think it was this instead. Yeah, some of the crystals that did not dissolve in the water. And my guess is... I was thinking about this earlier. I'm kind of thinking that these might be diamonds. And they were ground up and mixing with the salt or something for smuggling. I could be mistaken. I'm probably mistaken. Anyway, let me look at the table. Table is clearly used to prepare the meat before it's preserved. Countless cuts and scratches mark its surface, and it's stained by blood and ash. Colorful shards and debris cover the table. Examine table. There are jagged fragments of Jordan almonds scattered all over the table. Ooh, we know who likes Jordan almonds, don't we, chat? Why in the world would Jordan almonds be in the smokehouse? Grab Jordan almonds fragments. You remove some of the Jordan almond fragments from the table, taking great care not to pierce your skin on the jagged pieces. Well done! Alright, there's something glowing on the ground, on the floor. Let me look under table. Rough stone walls of the smokehouse, much like the floor, have been blackened by smoke. You can just barely make out a symbol. Low on the wall under the table. Ooh, what could that be? Examine Symbol. The symbol appears to be a circle within a circle. The smaller circle is copiously filled in with a red substance. Uh-oh. Wonder what the symbol is painted with. Definitely not paint. It's probably blood. It's sticky, drippy red, and a bit chunky. Eek! Grab sample of substance. Grab sample? Grab symbol? Look symbol. If I was just a bit taller, I wouldn't have seen it myself. Examine symbol. Grab substance. No. Take symbol. No. Okay. Look at floor. You see tiny glittery specks on the floor of the smokehouse. You can barely make out some yellow fibers on the floor. You also see some crumbs. Examine crumbs. With the aid of the loop, you conclude that the crumbs are probably from the thumbprint cookies you saw Jack baking earlier. Ooh, the plot thickens. I can even see that some of the crumbs have bright red raspberry jam on them. Who would bring thumbprint cookies into the smokehouse? Grab thumbprint cookies. Grab cookies. Okay. There was something else. Yellow fibers. Examine fibers. Fibers have come off from a woven hempen rope, probably due to friction. Oh, so he was tied up in here and he managed to escape? Could it be that Mr. Richards was tied up here in the smokehouse? Take fibers. Side the fray of rope fibers aren't worth taking. Look fibers, just in case you have to look. Look floor. Glittery specks. Specks. See tiny glittery specks on the floor of the smokehouse. Examines. Can E just work? Just E work? Specks. Little specks could be salt. Proceeding to the bag of rock salt increase the plausibility of this observation. Take specks. Sorry, you can't do that. Dust floor. Don't think would be useful. Dust table. Nope. Dust pot. Large pot is already black and caked with ash from years of smoking meat. Aren't required prints from it would be fruitless. It was a good thought, though. Thanks, game. I appreciate you trying to make me smart. Make me feel smart. Let me put on a save. Is that enough? Not quite done. I did try to deal with the substance, but I did try to, like, if you try just substance, examine substance. Substance doesn't work. Take red. Examine symbol. Red substance. But if I type substance, it doesn't work. Is it blood? You can't, no, not blood, not substance. Paint? Take paint? Apply tape to symbol. Scoop symbol. What can I do with that? What can I do with this symbol? Plate symbol? Examine symbol again. It's a circle into a circle. The smaller one is filled with a red substance. It's not paint, it's sticky, drippy red and a bit chunky. Grab chunk. Grab chunk. Not chunk. Take pot. Check we don't like that. Ah. Place mug under table. She doesn't want me to leave because she must know more about the substance. What can we do about that? Dump water on symbol. Ooh. You dump the water out of the blue mug. Oh no, you just dumped the... Put mug on symbol. No. Place shovels on symbol. To scoop it up. Nope. I cannot take the symbol. Smear symbol? Can't smear. Review. Yeah. Touch symbol. With much trepidation, reach out your finger and lightly touch it to the ominous red symbol. It's sticky. Oh, what's this smell? Raspberry jam? Oh. Okay, maybe that's enough then? Okay, fingerprints. Check for fingerprints. That to generate your complete collection of fingerprints of everyone on the lodge. Retrieve even Nessa's fingerprints from scared documents, real fingerprints. I'm just checking the ones I have, okay. Dust barrel. Dust symbol. Dust walls. Where can I get... Yeah, she did mention fingerprints before. Now she's not mentioning the symbol anymore, but still the fingerprints. What can I do for fingerprints? Examine table. Examine almonds. Inspecting the Jordan almond fragments through your loop, you can see the conchoidal fractures of the candy shell that remind you of the sharpest obsidian. Shiny like obsidian too. Yeek! I know that Mr. Richards is allergic to nuts. Could it be that these were used against him? Ooh, this looks bad. It does. Mr. Richards is allergic to nuts. I do remember that. And when he's drunk, he can forget that he's allergic to nuts. And he can forget these almonds are nuts because they're covered. I do remember all of that. So there's even a chance that he ate those by mistake. Could it be that Nessa was trying to weaponize them to use against him? Maybe that's why Nessa brought the Jordan almonds in the first place. She could have been scheming this entire time. There aren't many smooth surfaces. Just meat? Nope. Look, meat. Examine meat. They look incredibly appetizing. I'm sure they do. Examine walls. The red color looks a bit gory until you know that's just raspberry jam. Examine sack. A sack of salt, bag of salt, examine bag. Examine door. This door. Not many smooth surfaces. Bag of salt, barrel, large pot. Disarray, debris. Thanks to your loop, you can clearly see that the yellow fibers on the floor of the smokehouse are from hempen rope. Fibers have broken off into small twisted strands, possibly caused by friction. What or who could have done this? I believe Mr. Richards was tied up in here. I also clearly see cookie crumbs on the floor. I even see bits of jam. Right, nothing new there. Examine. I have checked under the table already. That's how I found the symbol. Examine barrel. Dust barrel. Dust pot. The dust salt. Dust table. Dust symbol. Dust floor. Dust wall, dust door, dust meat, dust self. And she needs a way to tie them to the scene, and finding fingerprints would be great. So maybe there isn't a way to check. Look for footprints. So maybe when she says that fingerprints would be great, but there aren't any surfaces, maybe that means that you have to tie them to the scene without fingerprints. Everything we have found here is circumstantial at best. Look behind barrel. Look behind pot. Look behind bag. Look behind table. Look under pot. Look crumbs. Examine crumbs. Examine meat. Look desk. Look table. Colorful shards and debris cover the table. Look debris. Examine debris. Look ash. Look ashes. Look ash. It doesn't say anything. Examine ash. Because there's ash on the table, examine blood. It says there is some ash on the table, maybe it would have a fingerprint from that. Examine rope. Look floor. What is it called? Specs. Fibers. Crumbs. Look specs. Examine specs. Look fiber. Examine fiber. Look crumbs. Examine crumbs. Look jam. Examine jam. Look symbol. Examine symbol. Look table. Examine table. Look almonds. Examine almonds. I've looked at everything. Can I use an item here? Take almonds. Already taken. Take crumbs. Take I always forget what the game calls it. Fibers. Take fibers. Fiber. Take fiber. Is that free? Okay, not worth taking. Take barrel. You consider rolling the barrel around wherever you go, but conclude it would be more trouble than it's worth. Fair enough. I'm missing something, obviously. Examine more closely. I need to type them to the scene. Fingerprints would be great, but unlikely. Okay, so that's the fibers, that's the symbol. The crumbs, the fragments are likely salt. What are those green things? Look green. Examine green. Meat, ID check. Work table, ID check. Salt. Barrel, large pot, I checked all of those. On the wall I did. Table and floor I did. Examine pot. Search pot. It's empty. What could I possibly do here? I was thinking about this key, this silver key. I think I know where it's supposed to be used, but it's out of here anyway. Huh. Push pot. Push barrel. Search under table again. Look under table. Examine symbol again. Cut meat. I need to find something in here that links Nessa and Corvus to the scene. Dust almonds. Oh, really? Did I not try that? Okay. Amazingly, yeah, you're able to recover partial fingerprint from one of the larger pieces of Jordan almond. Well done! Lift fingerprint. Take fingerprints. Take almonds. Is that good enough? Wait. Lift fingerprints. Examine almonds. Inspecting the Jordan almond fragments through your loop, you can see... Yes, after comparing the partial fingerprint obtained from the Jordan almond pieces, you conclude Ness is the one who crushed these Jordan almonds in the smokehouse. Good enough? I think I figured it out. It is. There we go. Nessa crushed the Jordan almonds on the table. Mr. Richards is allergic to nuts. Could it be she was trying to weaponize them against him? Maybe that's why Nessa brought the Jordan almonds in the first place. She could have been scheming this entire time. Yeah, they brought it. And they took it. The thing on the desk was empty. The one that had the almonds before. Yeah. Judging from the frayed rope fibers, Mr. Richards could have been tied up in the smokehouse after he disappeared from the jetty. I think Mr. Richards partially freed himself and painted a symbol with raspberry jam. Right, yeah, that's why the frayed rope is on the ground. He managed to rub it against the table until he was free. He took care to conceal the symbol under the table. It could indicate where he was taken next. A circle within a circle. No idea where that could be. Maybe the gazebo? We haven't done anything at the gazebo. Symbol looks like, oh, the thumbprint cookies. Their middles were filled with raspberry jam. Okay, so it was the cookies. He was taken to the cookies. That's horrible. I mean, he obviously wasn't taken to the kitchen. I remember Jack saying that Mr. Richards likes to stash the cookies in his pockets. Also, the jam is homemade by Jack. With the stuff that he gets from his garden. So he could be taken to the garden house. And I did find cookie crumbs on the floor in the smokehouse. You did. I know that another name for the thumbprint cookie is Halon Grotto, which is a cave. So he was taken to a cave. There we go. We're smart. We're really smart. Halon Grotto means raspberry cave in Swedish. So Mr. Richards is trying to help people find him. Then he's in a place that would be like a raspberry cave. Garnets. He must have been taken to the garnet mines. It sounds like an expletive. Garnets. Gosh, garnets. What's Nessa planning? I don't have a good feeling about this. I'll talk to Jack. Maybe he can help. I should talk to Nathan and Jack about all of this. Okay, we can leave now. Let me put down a save. That's very good progress. I'm pleased that I managed to figure this out. Open door. And I want to test her key before I talk to them. That would be in here. The place I'm thinking of is this. Open drawers are locked. Unlock drawers with silver key. Slide the small silver key into the vanity's lock. It fits perfectly. Open drawers. You open the drawers. Examine. Search drawers. Most of the drawers are full of various cosmetics meant for various parts of the face and don't interest you. But one drawer holds something worthy of closer inspection. You see a slim wooden box with a hinged lid and a smooth leather handle. Ooh, I love this kind of scene. Oh boy, you can't click it. It's just like the scene where we examined Margot. Look box. See a slim wooden box with a handle. Look, handle. Leather handle has been worn smooth with use. Examine box. You don't see that right now. Examine box. Examine handle. You think you may see some faint oily marks on the smooth handle. Ooh, dust handle. Apply some powder to the handle. Amazing, the powdery soot reveals 2 fingerprints on the leather handle. Aha, what if there are more fingerprints to be found? Lift fingerprints. You tear off 2 pieces of tape and press each into the powdered fingerprints. Check fingerprints. Handle has a fingerprint on it. Compare fingerprints. This is... One of these decanter fingerprints, the other to Nessa. Fingerprint the glass jar belongs to Nessa. Comparing the... you conclude... One of the documents belongs to Mr. Richards, the other belongs to Nessa. There are 2 fingerprints on the handle of Margot's kit. Margot has touched it, and so has Jack. Right, Jack was with the pamphlet. I remember. Fingerprint the glass jar belongs to Nessa, etc. Nessa, she's going over it again. Why are Jack's fingerprints here? I should ask him about this. Okay, now we can dust drawer. Try opening the kit first. Okay. Open box. Bursting with curiosity, you open the slim wooden kit. Music is right on cue. Oh boy. What is all this? Is that a tank or a bottle? There are instructions. There's a pamphlet. Well, that's the pamphlet with instructions on how to make sex. I remember that. Oh, the music, man. I fucking love it. Pamphlet. Pamphlet. I just know there's a PH somewhere. Okay. Pamphlet. The pamphlet is printed in tiny words on fine paper. Examine pamphlet. I'm so curious about this one, because this is a part of the mystery that makes no sense. What could Jack be scheming alongside Margot that no one knew about? The smooth onion skin cover of the pamphlet seems to have a spot of oil on it. Dust pamphlet. You reveal a fingerprint. I should take a closer look. No, I'm closing it and leaving, ignoring it completely. Take fingerprint. Lift fingerprint from pamphlet. We have to talk on a conspirational tone. You tear off a piece of tape, press it onto the powder fingerprint. Compare fingerprints. Nope. This is... One of the yeah, no, it's okay. Fingerprint from the cover of the pamphlet belongs to Margot. There are 2 fingerprints on the hand of Margot's skin. Margot has touched it and so has Jack. Aha, the fingerprint of the glass jar belongs to Nessa, etc. Okay, read pamphlet. Come on, don't leave me waiting. The cover of the pamphlet reads, Ehrlich's Magic Bullet. Kit prepared by W. Martindale, chemist. Read pamphlet. Look. It contains a host of mysterious objects, particular interest at a pamphlet, a glass bottle, a metal box, and a small ampoule. Glass bottle, metal box, and ampoule. You reveal 2 fingerprints on the wooden kit's leather handle. Reveal the fingerprint on the cover of the pamphlet. Look bottle. Glass bottle contains a rubber tube that is attached to its neck. Examine bottle. You may see some oily marks on the surface of the glass bottle. Dust bottle. 2 fingerprints. One is Jack's, one is Margot. Examine. Take fingerprints. If it doesn't accomplish anything, lift fingerprints from bottle. Examine metal box. Shiny metal lid might have some oily smudges on it. Look. Metal box. Shiny lid. Dust metal box. Fingerprints. Take fingerprints from box. Well done. Look ample. It contains a whitish shallow powder. It has a paper label. Read label. Paper label reads Silver Sun 6 grams, single use, manufactured by W. Martindale. There's an even smaller print near the bottom of the label that you can't quite make out. Examine label. With the aid of the Yoluki loop, you can read the minuscule print. This compound contains arsenic. Oh, that's why she died so quickly. She was taking something that had arsenic, which was supposedly fine, but then the arsenic from the flypaper was enough to send her into an overdose. That is why it was so quick and violent. Administration in excess may lead to nausea, seizures, and death. Do not exceed appropriate dosage. Arsenic, oh dear. Dust ample. It hasn't been touched yet. Right, there were like 5 slots. I can see multiple slots, so she had one more dose to take. So she already had arsenic in her body by the time she was given too much by freaking NASA. I'm pretty satisfied that I've dusted Margot kits thoroughly for prints. Okay, can I take the ample? If I won't take any of Margot's things, okay, so I can't take anything from here. Read pamphlet. I have done that. Okay, close kit. Close drawer. Okay, that's a lot of shit. That was really interesting. Okay, now with additional information, I'm going to go talk to Jack and Nathan. Nope, not here. Nope, not here. Here we go. Talk. Please be more specific. Talk, Jack. You breathlessly tell Nathan and Jack your theory about what happened in the smokehouse, ending with your belief that Mr. Richards was taken to the Garnet Mines. Well done! You think Mr. Richards was taken to the Garnet Mines? Those have been sealed shut for decades, which makes them a perfect place to hide someone. Uh-oh. We should drive out there and check, just in case. I agree. I'll take some time to prepare the automobile to the carriage house. I'll meet you there. I'm gonna fetch Ranger Murdoch. Stay put here in the lodge, Nancy, in case Mr. Richards comes back. Harumph. I do all the work. The men just leave me behind, as usual. Doop-de-doo, I'm gonna take a ranger with me. Doop-de-dump, I'm gonna drive a car, leave the lady alone. Well, I'm certainly not going to just wait around here. I'll convince Jack and Nathan to take me with them. They need all the help they can get. But before I head out, should I check in with the other folks in the lodge? Maybe? Let me see if I can find anyone anywhere. In the lodge, so we're not going outside. Okay, upstairs then. Ranger Murdoch was in here, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, he's not here anymore. Oh, the trunk is open, the one that Murdoch was trying to open. The big blue trunk lids up and the padlock hanging open. I wonder what was stored in here. Dust trunk. Dust chest. Search trunk. You peer into the blue trunk. There are some old, threadbare linings lining the interior and obscure the trunk's bottom. But by methodically feeling around inside, you discover a bullet and a blasting cap. My father was in construction. I know a blasting cap when I see one. But why would Albert put these in here? Jack let Albert store his things in his trunk. He wanted to lock this all away. The same as how he demanded to stay in Jack's room, the only bedroom with a lock. Seems like Albert was concerned about keeping his secrets. And he's armed? Uh-oh. Take cap. You take the blasting cap. Interesting. It's a tin of blasting caps used to detonate larger explosives. There's only one left. Maybe I should take a closer look at Albert's room. Was this just to open the garnet mines? The maker's mark is imprinted on the tin. You recognize the brand as one that is commonly used in Toronto. Canadian explosives. My father was in construction, so I know what these look like. Kids would sometimes play with them. Not me, but other kids. It's likely Albert purchased these blasting caps in Canada. They tend not to get shipped overseas because they're fairly hazardous materials. Though it's hard to tell the design printed on the lid, you think you can see an oily smudge. I was going to check it, yes. Dust cap? You feel the fingerprint on the blasting cap stain. Aha! Take fingerprint from cap. The tin of blasting caps, the fingerprint might prove to be a useful piece of evidence. I can submit this to the authorities as it is, no need to leave the fingerprint. Okay, fair enough. Examine cap. Examine cap. You've revealed a fingerprint on the tin of the blasting caps. After comparing the fingerprints to your collection, you conclude, as expected, this fingerprint belongs to Albert. Blasting caps are not standard mineralogist equipment, in case you didn't know. There was also bullets. Take bullets. Take a bullet. Come on. You take the bullet. Look, bullet. You're not expert in guns, but this is definitely a bullet of some kind. Of some kind, you say. Examine the bullet through the loop, but you don't know enough about bullets to glean any more information. Dust bullets. The soot slips off the bullet's smooth metal casing. It was a good thought. Well done, you didn't find anything. Okay, maybe that's good enough. They should take a closer look at Albert's room. I know. Well, this one is closed now. Yeah, they closed it before leaving. They took the jewelry box with them. And their briefcases. They do not intend to come back. Sorry. Yeah, no, they do not intend to come back here. They're gone. Gonzos. What's happened here? Albert's room is a mess. Clothes are hanging haphazardly in their wardrobe. The waste paper basket is stuffed full of papers. And all of his luggage is gone. Search basket. You can see some crumpled papers in the waste paper basket. They don't appear to have anything written on them. There's a strip of telegraph taping lying just outside the waste paper basket on the carpeted floor. Ooh, take telegraph paper. What? Look paper. Examine basket again. Strip of telegraph tape, not paper. Okay, take tape. You pick up the strip of telegraph paper. Look, strip. The telegraph tape reads as follows. Carl, yeah, here's Carl again. Carl L. Proceed to sue 500 locks. That's not the first time that's there. It's probably 5, not sue. Proceed 500 locks with package. Deliver package by 3 a.m. Await further instructions. Well done in Crimson. Well done in Crimson? What could that mean? And who on earth is Carl L? That's the ranger. I'm pretty sure he's not a ranger. Or something. Okay. Search wardrobe. Wardrobe still has some clothes lawfully draped on some hangers. Examine clothes. Thoroughly check all the pockets in the garments that Albert left behind. In the last jacket pocket you'll find a train ticket stub. Take stub. You take the ticket stub. Look, stub. Train ticket stub that Albert left in his jacket pocket. It says Crimson on it. Examine stub. 3rd class. He was not in 1st class. He lied to us. And he stole our mineralogist kit. To pretend he's a mineralogist while looking at a rock that was completely unimportant. We did already suspect that, yes. You peer more closely at the train ticket stub. The stub is from Albert's journey up to Crimson. But this is for a riding coach. The same as me and Kimmy. He said he was in the 1st class car. Albert lied to us. That can't be Nancy, not Albert. Alright, Necroring. Thanks. Have a good sleep. Thanks for stopping by, my friend. Enjoy your rest. Albert lied to us. I didn't see him on our car. Was he concealing himself? Have we seen Albert and Kimmy at the same time? Uh-oh. Oh man, this is great. I was thinking of this scene. I was thinking of this scene on the train. Thinking, you know, if I could look at that scene again, see if there's anyone suspicious. Thankfully, I've got my field kit up on the luggage rack. Do you see that old brown leather suitcase? Right, she's remembering her talking to Kimmy. I'm trying to think here. If he's... Oh, he's behind her. Hiding his face with a newspaper. You can see the fat fuck right there. Music. Ah yes, I see it. What does a field kit contain? Among other things, the field kit includes harness picks. These are the most important tools of all for my work in Crimson. They have tips of different hardness ranging from 2 to 9 on the Moss scale. The harness pick with the number 9 tip is indispensable for this trip. You'll scratch just about anything except for diamonds. I'm so glad I have these tools with me, otherwise I'd be up a creek without a paddle. Indeed, good luck with your work in Crimson. Thanks, I can't wait to get started. You and Kimmy chat for a bit longer before dozing off into the afternoon. And that's when Albert strikes, if that's even his name. Maybe he's Carl. No, I don't think he's Carl. Jack knew about Carl. Carl is the ranger. Yeah, people keep leaving the train. The dude with the newspaper is still behind them. Yeah, it's just him. There you go. There, look, this scene is amazing. And he takes off his hands and he takes off the... This looks so good. There we go. This game is amazing. I told you he had stole it. Of course, he's always so defensive. He obviously doesn't know what he's doing as a mineralogist. This is amazing. Look at this, man. He's just the people eating and drinking. What? Oh, he has... Oh, he throws... You fuck, you know we can find stuff on our own. Right, he wasn't using our kit because we would have recognized it. It was different from ours. Oh, the scene from the intro. Fuck, I hadn't thought about that. That's from the intro. Yeah. I want a sequel. I haven't finished it yet, but I want a sequel. I want more of that. I want a sequel with enhanced VGA graphics. It was Albert. He was in the train car after all. It's so useful when you have a flashback from where you were asleep, including information you couldn't possibly have known. Storytelling is amazing. I remember the smell of those cigars, the ones he's been smoking in the loft this whole time. And he got rid of my field kit to obstruct my investigation. How is this game so good? By the way, there's something under the bed here. Look under bed. It does look like something's under there. A cylinder wrapped in red paper is partly concealed under the bed. I wonder what this could be. Take cylinder. Take cylinder? I don't know how to spell it. There you go. You reach down to retrieve the red cylinder from Albert's bed. Uh-oh. Is it dynamite? That's why he has the blast caps, to open up the garnet mines where there's diamond hidden. I think this is a stick of dynamite. Yep, it's a stick of dynamite. Looking at it makes you sweat. Dynamite is not the standard piece of mineralogical equipment. God damn it. How dare he? Albert stored blasting caps in the blue trunk and dynamite in his luggage, it seems. I'm starting to think he's not a mineralogist at all. You think? Yeah, that there's a chance, yes. Look, dynamite. Looking at it makes you sweat. Examine dynamite. It's dynamite. Examining it more closely wouldn't make you feel any better. Quite the opposite, in fact. Smell dynamite. Your nose doesn't notice anything of note. Light up dynamite. Doesn't it explode? Nope. Okay. 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 That's pretty good. I think I'm getting the picture here. Albert isn't who he says he is. I believe he's headed to the 500 locks to sabotage them with explosives. I found a bullet and blasting caps in the blue trunk. Albert is probably armed. And is fairly well acquainted with how to use explosives, seeing as he knew to store his dynamite and blasting caps separately. This doesn't bode well. And I think he tossed my luggage out of the train to eliminate my field kit, so I couldn't interfere with his sham field work. He was in the train car with me and Kimmy. His train ticket stub proves that, and I do remember the smell of his particular brand of cigar. I need to head to the carriage house and tell Jack and Nathan and Ranger Murdoch. You do. Man, what a game. That's the thing about good adventure games, right? They build up, and there's usually a good payoff. Yeah, this game is paying. We're not even at the end, and it's already paying off so much. Margot told me that Nessa's ruby brooch is hidden somewhere in here. Nessa tore this room apart looking for it. I wonder if it's still in here. Search shelves. Search case. Search shoes. Pick up and shake all of Margot's shoes, look inside them and tap their heels. Cole's already looked through these thoroughly. I'm not surprised that I can't find the ruby brooch here. Search dresses. Dresses are the latest style, they're finely made and very pretty. Ruby brooch isn't pinned to any of the dresses, nor is it in any pockets. Search hats. Which hat would you like to examine? There's a yellow, green, blue, and teal. Search yellow hat. One by one, I guess. You take the yellow hat down from the shelf, mannequin hat and all. You take a close look at the yellow hat, admire the quality of workmanship. Maybe one day, you'll own a hat as fine as this. You can see why Nessa didn't bother inspecting all the hats. They're up high and hard to reach. And the mannequin hats are surprisingly solid and heavy, not hollow, leaving no room for hidden items. It doesn't matter. We're going to check all of them. You can get some exercise from doing this as well. Nancy. Green hat is a lot like yours, except newer and made of finer wool. The mannequin hats are made of painted hardwood, so the brooch couldn't be stuck into them to conceal it. Merely shaking the mannequin hat is all that it would require to check if the brooch was balanced under one of the hats. Check blue hat. Blue hat is decorated red silk rose. Oh, it's not a rose. Search rose. Search blue hat. Takes blue hat. Red silk rose on the blue hat is exquisite. The stitching is minute and even. I'm starting to ache from straining them to the limits to reach the hats. You wonder if your efforts will prove fruitful. I'm starting to doubt it. Take red rose. Take blue hat. Examine rose? Why can't I examine the rose? That's not a rose. Shake blue hat. Shake blue hat? You don't have any water. Why would I need water to shake a hat? Examine teal hat for now. Bright teal color of this hat isn't faded in the slightest. The underside of the brim is the same gorgeous hue. With a grunt of effort, you rest the last mannequin hat down from the shelf and examine the hat closely. Oh! Pinned to the inside of the last hat you inspect, you find Nessa's ruby brooch. Margot had cleverly concealed the pinned part of the brooch between the hat and its band. You carefully unpin the ruby brooch from the hat before returning the mannequin head and hat to the top of the shelf. I'm glad I found it, but what do I do with it now? I guess I'd better find Nessa and give it back. Let's find the murderous woman and return her belongings. Look brooch. Fancy ruby brooch with an intricate gold setting. Rubies have a moss hardness of 9, one of the hardest minerals around. Besides diamonds, of course. Examine brooch. You admire the rich, much coveted pigeon blood deep red hue of the ruby mounted on the brooch. Thanks to your loop, you detect faint rutile inclusions. But the gem is eye clean, that means the inclusions are invisible to the naked eye. The inclusions are also called silk. Some of these faint lines might not be inclusions after all, they look a bit oily. Dust brooch. You're shocked to discover not one but 2 clear fingerprints. Take fingerprints from brooch. Carefully apply a bit of tape to the 2 fingerprints revealed on the ruby brooch. Compare fingerprints. The 3 fingerprint on the tin of the blasting caps. It connects it to Albert. Reveal 2 clear fingerprints of a ruby cabochon? Is it called cabochon? I have never seen that word. You compare them to the fingerprints you obtained from everyone in the lodge. One of these fingerprints belongs to Margot, which comes as no surprise. She admitted to stealing Nessa's brooch. The other fingerprint belongs to Jack. Oh, fuck. We keep adding dirt to the garden plot, thickening the plot. I should ask him about this. Oh shit. I have to ask about the brooch and about Albert, and it's... Everybody did... Yeah. Maybe even Kimmy, but for now Kimmy's just... I want my cormorants! She's asleep. Talk to Kimmy. Kimmy's asleep, you can't talk to her right now. Wake Kimmy up. My goodness, no! If folks found you a bit annoying before, you'll never live it down if you start disturbing people's sleep. What was the item we used in Soul Blazer? Was it a flute? Use flute on Kimmy. You can't use flute. Touch Kimmy. Course of action yields no result. Peek into Kimmy's dreams. Can't use peek. After the mother, she was in the middle of the woods and was like, I'm totally looking for owls. Look, Kimmy is either like just completely irrelevant, other than not letting us grab the sample because of the cormorants, or she's like the secret mastermind behind all of this. There's no middle ground for Kimmy. Okay, and I think this is still chapter 5. It's a very long chapter. Look, the door is open, you can see it from this screen. Oh! What's this? The double doors have been thrown wide open. You can see Ranger Murdoch and Jack inside the carriage house. They look nonplussed. Jack! What's going on? The automobile's gone, Nancy. I can see that! Duh! Someone must have picked the lock on the driver's side door and made off with it while I waggle my eyebrows. I think Albert's stolen the automobile. You hear a rumbling. Is that Thunder? Nope, that's Nathan. He went and got his automobile. Tell me what you know on the way. Time's a-wasting. Let's go. Right. Alright, they're taking me with them. I don't know why they changed their minds without me telling them anything, but you can hear the little rumble of the other car. Man, this music, I feel like I haven't heard this one yet. Man, this game is so good at setting up a mood and atmosphere. It really rewards the time that you spend getting acquainted with the plot and the characters. It respects your time. Because every game demands that you get engrossed in its story. Well, not every game, but you know, every adventure game demands that from you. Not all of them reward you for doing so. It's going to be a bit of a tight squeeze and a bumpy ride. It's actually Evan's father's old car. I've managed to keep it running decently well, though the shocks are pretty stiff. Decently well? We'll be fine, Nancy, just hang on tight. We turn off the lights, very good. Leave one at a time. You all pile into Nathan's automobile and head for the mine. Chapter 6. We're really not very comfortable. Nancy's grabbing on for dear life. Mr. Cardinal, I'm sorry you couldn't meet under better circumstances. I understand your reluctance to be involved with the authorities. It's entirely justified. Evan is in danger. I'll help my friend. We can figure out the rest later. Mr. Cardinal, I didn't know who he was talking to. It's Nathan Cardinal. I'll safeguard you from any consequences of going off reservation, I promise. So maybe he is a ranger after all. Let's deal with that later. I think Albert's stolen the automobile. You do? What makes you think so, Nancy? Albert's luggage is gone and his room is a mess. It looks like he left in a hurry. Albert had so much luggage and Jack said it was very heavy. It sure was. Fucking had to carry the damn thing. There's no way he could have handled all the luggage himself unless he took the automobile. I think he's driving into the 500 locks to bomb it. I stumbled upon a confrontation between Albert and Kimmy. He was furious with her. It was such a bewildering encounter. Did we? Not remembering that. Maybe we did. I just don't remember it right now. He's not a Belgian mineralogist at all. He's a German spy. So that has to do with the war. Maybe. But how did she figure that out? I don't remember that conversation. And his name might be actually be Carl L. Oh. Right, so he's Carl. Okay. Carl L? Where did you hear that name? I found this telegraph tape and stick of dynamite in Carl's room. And I found a bullet and blasting cap in the blue trunk where he was storing some of his things. I think Carl is highly knowledgeable about explosives, armed and dangerous. Fantastic detective work, Nancy! I need to notify the appropriate authorities and follow up on this imminent threat. Oh, also I think Albert's got a gun. He's been storing bullets in the blue trunk, and he's knowledgeable with explosives. He's been storing the blasting caps and dynamite separately. We have the blasting cap and the dynamite. Probably stored inside a pocket in our skirt. So she knows enough to keep them separate, but she's carrying them together. Because we have both. I think you're dealing with a professional saboteur, one that's armed and dangerous. Got it, I'll keep all of that in mind when we confront him, Nancy, thank you. Please be careful. More than I am with this blasting cap on this pocket, this dynamite in the other. I hope the car doesn't shake too much, because that could be a problem. If I explode, don't mind me, I guess. I will. I'll tell you how it goes when we meet again. Mr. Cardinal, could you please drop me off at the train station? I can send an urgent telegram for reinforcements. We'll have rangers at the 500 locks as soon as possible. Of course, but first, to the Garnet Mines, they're closer. Good idea. Telegrams travel faster than any automobile. Albert will take some hours to arrive at his destination. Whee! Right, so when you get there to the station, he sends a telegram. The telegram arrives before Albert arrives. So by the time he gets to 500 locks, they're already there, waiting for him. Skirts with pockets, amazing lost technology. I talked about this when she was playing billiards, and she took an entire cue and she stuffed it into her skirt. And I was like, man, not only does it have pockets, they're deep. I know the plight of women with pockets on. It's disrespectful if you ask me. Like, if someone came along and tried to take my pockets away from me, I would be so fucking angry. Nathan stops his automobile as close to the Garnet Mine as he dares. The ground is rugged, and any roads leading to and from the area have fallen into disrepair many years ago. Fashion. Hello there, Shinlocked said, so Acme bottomless pocket. No, that one was... it was the only time where she actually visibly took an item and stored it, and it was the entire queue into her skirt, and then he walked to the table and pulled it all out again to use it. It was amazing. A freaking fashion. You know, it pisses me off so much when I see some woman walking around trying to carry her phone on the only pocket she has, which is on her back, where anyone can just lift it and take it away, and half of it is hanging out of the pocket. And it's already straining, almost bending the phone because it has to be a small, tight pocket. Man, Seriously, I don't know who you talk to with regards to fashion, but we have to make cargo shorts fashionable for women somehow. I don't know. I'm trying to look out for you guys. I don't know how you deal with it. A bit of stealth is imperative as well. It wouldn't do for Nessa and Corvus to be alerted to your presence. The consequences for even could be dire. You and Jack watch Nathan turn the automobile around to head for the distant train station. It's all up to you now. You often wear men's cargo pants. There you go. And so you should. Excellent job! Oh yeah, that's the end of chapter 5. I got the achievement. Cut us on your thorough investigative technique. The mine entrance has been blasted shut. This can't be where Ness and Corvus took even. Oh no, my theory's wrong. We're all gonna die. It's all mine. I can't complain about puns with the string title that I have today, so yeah, enjoy. Nancy, wait a minute. Let me tell you that you are wrong on my own terms. This is the closest entrance to the mine. They were on foot. Not to mention, this is fresh rubble. Most likely they did use this entrance, but the entrance collapsed after them. Abandoned mines are dangerous places. We have to be careful. Chapter 6, Confrontations. Man, it must have been so much work to pixel art the handwriting here. I mean, I can see how it's done. Like you handwrite it, you blow it up and you pixel art over it. It's still like, I mean, compared to everything else, it's no big deal, I'm sure. But man, pixel artists. Got a dynamite plunger. I did see it, yes. How we're going to get in? Don't know, but I'm gonna grab that shovel and start digging. Yup, grab the shovel, start digging. Boop, doop, doop, I'm digging. And he climbs a little bit. Jack starts digging at the rubble at the mine entrance. I've got to help Jack with this. Okay, let's save. Game 006. There is a spool of rope here. Can I take the spool? Yep. Reel of wire. I wonder if I can figure out a fast way to clear this rubble. Disclaimer. The developer of this game assumes no responsibility or liability for any errors or omissions in any processes depicted, particularly dangerous ones involving explosives. Do not attempt anything in this game in real life. Do not make thumbprint cookies. I was thinking of doing that. I'm not anymore. Yeah, cookies, there you go. It's all crazy well done, it is. Well done! Yeah, it says right there, it's well done. Okay. Connect wire to plunger. You need to cut the wire from the reel before you can insert into the plunger. I might not have scissors with me. Cut wire. You need to insert the blasting cap into the dynamite. Okay, the dev did some research. Attach cap to dynamite. You carefully insert the blasting cap into the dynamite. Cut wire. You need to insert the wire into the blasting cap before you insert the other end of the wire into the plunger. Insert wire into cap. You stick the end of the wire into the blasting cap, which has been inserted into the dynamite. Cut wire. I'm all set, I just need to cut the wire from the reel and insert the cut end of the plunger detonator. I know. You don't have any wire cutters right now, you don't see any here. I wonder why I could get a pair of wire cutters, I'm so close. Oh, it has to be on this scene. We can't leave to anywhere. Which is good. I love it when adventure games are like, okay, everywhere you have been to, stuff that you might or might not have searched, forget all of that. We are locked into this new place. New set of puzzles. Now there's stuff we haven't cleared out yet. Like the hair. This, the salt that we sampled. The brooch. I wonder if we could have gotten here without the brooch. Like, that's one thing that I have been enjoying this game immensely for a number of reasons. I will talk shit about it if we get to a point, oh, you didn't get every item that you should have before getting here. Bad ending, try again. I will not accept that if that happens, I swear to God. Do I have anything that I can use to... I could technically just unroll all of it. Anything I can use to cut it? I am... Trowel. Cut wire with trowel. Which gives little effect. Ask Jack for wire cutters. Would you happen to have any wire cutters, Jack? I do, actually. Perfect. May I borrow those? Sure thing. There you go, Nancy. Wire cutters. Thanks. And he goes, sure, she probably wants to do her nails. It's not like she admitted to having some dynamite on her. Cut wire. Using the wire cutters, you'll snip the wire from the reel. Attach wire to plunger. You don't have the plunger yet. I have to take it? Oh, that's fine. You take the plunger detonator. What if I can figure out a faster way to clear this rubble? We are on it, Nancy, don't worry. I have a plunger detonator, wire, blasting cap, and a stick of dynamite. I know. Thanks anyway, that's... I wonder if I could rig this up to blast the mine entrance open. I know, Nancy, I know. Attach wire to plunger. Insert the wire into the plunger detonator. The explosive is rigged, it's time to set it off. Yeah, right here. Push plunger. Here it goes. She's going to... I just got 2 achievements for that. One of the achievements claims that there are 7 deaths in the game, and this is death number 4. Maybe step back a wee bit. I knew it. Of course I knew what was going to happen. I mean, no, I didn't. I expect her to refuse. That's amazing. Now that's a way to replay the game. You can look for the other deaths. Nice. Little game. I did save right before because of that. Place dynamite. Put dynamite in rocks. Jack are ready to accept the explosive charge. Got it, Nancy? Give me a second. Holy shit. Oh. I got 2 achievements. Ready? One for dying and another one for killing Jack with you. Yeah, there are 2 achievements, separate ones. Killing Jack gives you an extra achievement. That's very good. You carefully place the rigged dynamite close to the rubble. Pull plunger away. Pull plunger. Take plunger. I like to take the plunger. Take plunger behind rock. There we go. I've taken the plunger and placed it out of harm's way. Fortunately, the wire is long enough. Very good. Here goes nothing! That was a bit anticlimactic. Well, it was only one stick of dynamite after all. Yeah, one stick can only do so much. But what? The abandoned garden mine looks stark and desolate in the moonlight. Debris and forgotten equipment litter the area. You and Jack have managed to create a Nancy-sized hole in the rubble. That's a very good... This game takes place in Canada, and that's a very American measure. Because Americans like to measure things in like football fields, that sort of stuff. An Nancy-sized hole looks like American measure to me. I think I can squeeze through. Jack is here. Squeeze in. Go in. Talk to Jack about entrance. Entrance. Ask about entrance. Ask entrance? Ask Jack about entrance? How does that work? Ask Jack about entrance. Sorry, Miss Maple, I don't know anything about that. Ask Jack about hole. Squeeze into hole. Alright, I can fit through this opening. Nancy, this is really dangerous. Let's widen this hole some more so I can go too. Eva's in danger, there's no time to lose. You keep working on the rubble and follow when you can. Okay, Nancy, you're the boss. That was easy. You be careful, you hear? I will, I promise. Wait, before you go, it's gonna be dark as night in there. Darker even. Take this lantern. Hello. Hi, I'm Nancy Maple. I'm Canadian. Jack lights the lantern and hands it to you. I've got another one, don't you worry. You're not the only one with big pockets. Good luck, kiddo. Thanks, Jack. You squeeze through the small hole in the rubble and enter the mine. Oh, wow. Seeing the lantern's light reflected brilliantly on the thousands of red crystals embedded in the walls, you're slowly reminded of why you traveled to Crimson in the first place. If the situation wasn't so dire, you'd be dazzled by this cave of natural wonders. Instead, the red gleams look like blood is beating on every surface, just waiting to fall. You shiver. Toronto feels like it's 1,000,000 kilometers and 1,000,000 years away. Oh dear, it's so dark in here. I need to figure out which way Ness and Corvus have taken Mr. Richards. If indeed they came this way at all. If we walk around... Hang on. If we walk around and the light follows us, I swear to God. What a fucking game. Man, look at how the light reacts with that wheel behind her. Holy shit, man. Also, the way the rocks light up is different depending on your position. Like look at this rock right here. It has a yellow shimmer on it alongside the red. If you go here, it changes to like some sparkling. So every Like, each one of these is a different frame with separate animation. Like, this is one frame, like one set of images is like 1, 2. It's 2 frames, but still. This is another completely separate two frames. Like, look at this. Very simple, right? This is one of those wooden structures. It goes all the way up here. If I take a step to the right, it goes down here. It's a completely separate scene. So much work. Holy crap, man. Look. The Garnet Mine's interior is much cooler than the outside. The air feels stale and still. You grate over for the lantern's light, though the warm glow quickly gets swallowed by the darkness. The opening you created to enter the mine seems to float in the air like a portal to another world. You can see a good deal of the mining machinery that was left behind years ago, as well as a discarded shovel. I think this machine is some sort of crusher. By the way, I just realized it's 2 separate animations. If you look at the floor and the rocks, they animate at different speeds. Notice a particularly large red crystal embedded in a nearby boulder. Ooh, gorgeous. Take crystal. If you like to obtain a sample from a suit of rose tribe, we can closer to it first. Take crystal. You chip a particularly lovely crystal sample out of the rock. Okay, do I have the crystal with me? I do, okay. Take shovel. Now that you're inside the mine, there's no need for the shovel. Too bad, you use this one helping Jack clear the rubble outside. I mean, you had a dynamite, I think that's more adequate. Okay, there's one exit here, and one exit. You slip and fall into the distant, jagged depths of the mine. Okay, that's death number 7. Too bad you're not the gumshoe you thought you were. Be more careful next time. Ah. Okay, this is becoming Sierra stuff right now. It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, you get to this point, you start to save frequently. It is an exit, yes. Okay, so we have 3 usable exits, supposedly. We exited the game. Where am I going? Oh, you aimlessly wander in the mine until the lantern goes out. Death number 5. Wander aimlessly seldom ends well. Have a game plan first, or some step-by-step directions. Nancy. Okay. Okay, so we have 2 exits now. Death number 6. So, okay, so that's deaths number 4 through 7. Explosion, bricks, getting lost, and falling down a mine shaft. So there are 3 deaths on the previous 5 chapters that you can get somehow. I'm pretty sure one of those has to be from Arsenic. Don't give in to the pressure before you're moving on, find your way. Bad luck next time. Wait, so none of the exits are usable. Waterfall is one. But she doesn't walk on the waterfall. I tried. She would only accept that when I had the rope tied to me. Okay, I found this one as well. Look. Path rises to the north and branches off to the left and right. None of the beings are standing upright. They've all at least partially succumbed to the enormous weight of the rocks above. Wonder how safe it is to be here. Look. You can see some indications of a path leading downwards into the darkness as well as to the east. Which way could have that gone, if they even came this way at all? After optimistic, I will find Mr. Richards. Examine path. The floor of the Garnet mine is covered in dust and rock particles. That, plus the lack of wind and weather, has kept dozens of set shoe prints looking as fresh as they were made. Shoe prints still look very clear, but are covered in dust, like everything else. Most of the shoe prints. You saw someone else falling before the jar scene. Really? Before the jar? Okay, so that's one death that you can find. The achievement names are probably hints. I'm not one to hunt for achievements most of the time, but I'm pretty sure you can just look at the descriptions if you want to get those. Okay, check shoe prints. Many types of shoe prints cover the floor of the Garnet mine, leading in all directions. Most of these were probably made by miners decades ago. What if Ness and Corvus came this way with Mr. Richards? Yeah, I had to check the ones without dust in them. Examine shoe prints. Aha, here are some pointed-toed size 14 men's dress shoe prints. And impressions made by size 8 women's shoes. And size 12 men's boots. I recognize this thread pattern from Mr. Richards' other boots. 3 sets of shoe prints are the freshest after all. Now I need to track the shoe prints and discover where they went next. Fresh shoe prints head east, deeper into the mine. Nothing but dusty miner shoe prints down the southern path. Gee, I'm glad I was able to track Ness and Corvus Dowding's path. Hope I can find Mr. Richards before it is too late. Ah, what was that? Despite the terrifying rumbles and shudders around you, you forge onwards. So achievements go, I wish you could turn them off and never see them. I'm pretty sure you can. Yeah, on Steam, worst case scenario, disable the overlay, you will not be seeing achievements. If you're talking about consoles, I assume there's options for those, but I haven't checked. Very, very few games I've... Like, there are some games where achievements are used in a good way, where you can use them to guide your playthrough even. You don't use consoles, right. Well, on Steam, I'm pretty sure if you just disable the overlay, you don't get notifications. Game has auto-saved. Oh, fuck. There we go. It's tied up again. Just as you reach this firelit cavern, your lantern goes out. Oh no, the lantern is out of oil, there's no turning back now. Yeah, if you go on Steam settings and you disable the overlay, you don't get any notifications at all. Sign your will, Ivan? Rumph! Sign my fake will, you mean? If you're so smart, why didn't you just forge Pa's will? Then you wouldn't have had to come up with this dumb scheme. If you were so smart, you'd know that Pa's lawyer is still alive. He'd pipe up pretty quick if an actual will from his client came out of nowhere. Welcome in, Zalathar. How are you doing today, my friend? But this is a perfectly suitable backup plan. It's much easier to forge your will. If you do as you're told, I'll let you die quickly. Holy fuck, she's really unhinged. By the way, I think her hair is messed up right now. Exciting stuff is happening. We just got... I didn't know you could die in this game. We just got 4 deaths in like 20 minutes. One of them we got a bonus achievement for killing someone else alongside us. Amazing stuff. But her hair is unkempt. I think it's getting slowly more unhinged. You can see on the portrait. I don't think it was that unkempt before. She's frazzled, precisely. Otherwise, you'll starve to death in the dark. And we'll forge your signature anyway. Nancy's on to you, you won't get away with this. We'll see about that. It'll be her word against ours. I have to rescue Mr. Richards. My first order of business is to distract Corvus. Holy shit, man, the game is final confrontation. Yeah, let me put a separate save file here. Can we type our way to victory, chat? Probably not on the first attempt. Or the second or the third. We could... Throw almonds. Aha! Oh! Corvus ties you up. Okay. Scratch all of that. We have to get out of here. Maybe Nancy was followed. Yes, we do. Any last words, brother dearest? Not for you. Nessa takes a handful of crushed almonds from the table. She then stuffs the almonds in Evan's mouth. Fucking hell. By the way, the border, the text border, is different again because it's a different location. It has the garnets on the borders. She's force-feeding him nuts because of his allergy. This fucking bitch, man. I knew someone had to be evil, but I was so lulled into a sense of security by this game's comfiness and wholesomeness that I'm kind of... It increases the impact, of course. Like if it was just murders left and right. Then again, she already killed Margot, but you know, slow arsenic poisoning is one thing. Pushing nuts into a deathly allergic person's mouth that happens to be her brother is a little bit more intense. Oh shit, his eyes. Look at Nancy's face. Nessa, what have you done? I should have done that a long time ago. Goodbye, Nancy. Corvus takes the lantern and follows Nessa out of the cavern. You're left in darkness. Listen to Mr. Richards gasp his last breaths. I'm sorry, Mr. Richards. All you can do is wait. It feels like an eternity. And then... footsteps? I'm in here! Help! Nancy! Is that you? Mr. Richards? Ranger Murdoch! Nancy! Mr. Richards is dead. Let's get you out of here. I wonder... Ranger Murdoch takes out a pocket knife and saws through the ropes that are binding you. Thanks. Corvus got away and so did Nessa. I'm sorry. I failed. Important thing is you're safe. Come along. I'm sorry, Mr. Richards. Goodbye. Is this a bad ending? Do I have to redo that puzzle? Ranger Murdoch leads the way out of the mine. You feel incredibly relieved to be out of the mine. It feels like a great weight has been lifted off your shoulders. The automobile's parked down the hill. There are more rangers waiting for us at the train station. How did everyone get here so quickly? Well, it wasn't quick, actually. I'm not actually a forest ranger. I'm a member of the Northwest Mounted Police. We've been on the trail of a German spy and saboteur who was rumored to be in this area. We believe he is responsible for the bombing of the bridge west of Crimson. Albert Respa, Carl L. A man known to us as Carl Leffler. You revealed him, Nancy. Well done. Not only that, you tipped us off to what his next target would be. The 500 Lux. Right again. As you know, Canada declared war on Germany a few weeks ago. It appears operatives directed by the German Foreign Office have undertaken a campaign here in Canada to delay military aid in Europe. We're targeting transportation links such as railways, bridges and canals. Of course he's a Mountie, of course he is. Yeah, I'm thinking that I can do that better. I will reload and try again. Because she says, my first thing I have to do is distract Corvus. Whatever I tried was wrong, I had to try again. We strongly suspect that Carl L., a man we know as Carl Leffler, is one of those operatives. He has been apprehended at the 500 Lux while setting up explosive charges. And thanks to impeccable detective work, Mr. Leffler should be brought to justice. Gee! I'm almost glad Mr. Richards is dead. Let's go. I'm sure I'm gonna get an achievement saying like bad ending, try better. Chapter 6 complete. Chapter 7 Conclusions. The train station is a flurry of activity. Rangers are milling all around, consulting with each other in whispered conversations. Inside, you can hear the non-stop whir and tick of the telegraph machine. The ranger in charge looks up and acknowledges Ranger Murdoch with a nod. Just the man I wanted to see. Thanks to the intelligence you provided, we were able to alert authorities in Salt State. Mary about the Salt St. Mary? I don't know. About the impending sabotage attempt on the 500 locks. They were ready and waiting and caught the man red-handed with luggage full of dynamite and blasting caps. Not to mention 9mm Luger in the glove box. Imagine his surprise when they called him by his real name, Carl Leffler, aka Albert Raspa, German spy and saboteur. I would love to have seen the look on his face. All in all, some mighty fine work, Ranger Murdoch. A crisis has been averted. As much as I'd like to take credit for it, Nancy Maple here is the one you ought to be thanking. She single-handedly figured it out. All I did was pass along the information. Well then, my thanks to you, Nancy Maple. You're a Canadian hero. She's very Canadian. Thanks. Though I'll warn you now, you might have to be an unsung hero at that. I have a feeling the Canadian government will won't want to reveal just how vulnerable we were tonight. It could undermine the public's confidence at a crucial turning point for our country. Oh, I don't mind it at all, as long as things works out for the best. They did, Nancy, truly. Thank you for your service. Now, what have you got here? We just come from the old abandoned Garnet mine. A busy night. Yes, indeed. Please dispatch some crime scene investigators to the lodge so we can build a strong case. Roger that. I'm heading back to Toronto now. I need to meet with some higher-ups immediately. The Northwest Mounted Police has commandeered a train back to the city. I've been told you call Toronto home, Miss Maple. Will you join me? I waggle my eyebrows at you. I'm exhausted. I don't think I'm up for more traveling tonight. I'm not ready to leave Crimson just yet. Suit yourself. I'll need to take your statement for the report, but that can wait a day or two. Thank you. I'll need a bit of time to get my thoughts in order. Of course, there's going to be a ton of paperwork to do for this whole caper. I'll be trapped behind a desk for weeks. Just send word when you'll be returning. I'll pick you up from Union Station and escort you straight to the police station. Will do. Thanks, Ranger Murdoch. Nathan drives you and Jack back to the lodge. Margot's death feels like it happened weeks ago. It was on Friday, that was 2 days ago. And the arrival in Crimson feels like it happened months ago. That was on Wednesday. Don't be so dramatic. And it feels like years ago when you spoke to your boss, Professor Plummer. Alright. My boss! My fieldwork! What am I going to tell him? Despite the excitement of the evening, you find yourself nodding off, only to be jolted awake when Nathan's automobile hits an uneven stretch of road. Eventually, not even the bumpy road can rouse you. Nancy, you're awake? We're back. Once Jack has roused you from your deep slumber, you make your way upstairs as quietly as possible, lest you wake Kimmy. My goodness, what a night. I've never been so exhausted. And look at the little animations. Her taking her shoes off. You climb into bed and are eager to fall asleep. But as your gaze falls on the ransacked curio cabinet, you realize there are a few things you may want to bring up with the other inhabitants of the lodge tomorrow morning. I better make some notes on fresh paper to remind myself. Or I could just decide to go to sleep if I wish. Did Margot have an accomplice in the ruby brooch theft? Yes? Jack. That was a yes or no question. Okay, yes. Yes, I suspect someone helped Margot hide the ruby brooch effectively. Who was the accomplice? Jack. I'm quite sure I'm right about that. Jack and Margot were thick as thieves, literally. I found the brooch Margot's walking chest pinned under her hat, after Ness and Corvus had already thoroughly searched there, including the hats. Margot was already dead by then. Jack must have hid the brooch there after Ness and Corvus were finished searching their room. Should ask him about that tomorrow morning. Now about the curio cabinet. Who sold a pair of antique silver steins? Margot did. Margot's fingerprints was the only one that lifted from the smashed curio cabinet. Plus, she admitted to taking the antique silver wedding steins. That's all pretty clear cut. But she missed having helped. Who helped with the steins? Either Jack or even... Jack, I don't think... Not sure they got that right, but that's my best guess. It was the imposter. That was Albert. Right, his geology and mineralogy books looked brand new because he never once consulted them. They were part of his disguise. That explained why he was examining that glacial relic. He had no idea that it wouldn't be a good indicator of the geology of the area. Yeah, I'm gonna get some of these wrong. I want to see what score I get. It's fine, Sakura. What was Kimi's true goal? I don't remember her discussion with Albert that they mentioned. They mentioned the discussion, I don't even remember if it actually happened. Cormorants. After everything I've witnessed, I'm pretty sure that Kim is just a keen bird watcher, probably had the worst vacation of her life. There you go, cormorants all along. Everything and anything can look suspicious if you're looking for suspicious activity. Kimmy was pretty dumb, I'm fine. Were even Riches and Nathan Cardinal friends or enemies? They were very good friends. Their conversation in the conservatory indicates they are similarly aligned when it comes to the fate of the lodge and lands. They also met up in the study after that first dinner. It was hard to tell if they were friends then, but I did see them shake hands. They respected each other. Judging from the conversation overheard in the carriage house, Nathan, Jack, and Mr. Richards were working together to deal with Albert. And Nathan helped me and Jack try to rescue Mr. Richards tonight. He's a true friend. Mr. Richards was lucky to have him. What were Jack and Nathan trying to conceal? That was never clear to me. It was something to do with Albert, because they did try to get him away. So, but they thought he was a mineralogist, so it was something to do with the... It was like... I think it was the diamonds. I think there are diamonds, because I did some stuff and I never checked those stones that were mixing with the salt. They were harder than 6 on the Moss hardness scale. I'm gonna say diamonds. It is possible after all, but so far that is only a hunch, based on the samples I've gathered. I need to verify my hypothesis when I get back to the museum. Where I did salt. I did recover these clear crystals from the bag of rock salt. If these really are diamonds, the bag of rock salt in the smokehouse would have been the perfect hiding place. Who would guess? I did. Were Margot and Jack having an affair? He was helping her with that medicine. And I did joke about it, but I don't think they were. I think it was just that he was... She was hiding something from Ivan with that medicine thing. I think no. I think he was helping her with the medicine. My gut tells me they were just friends, but I can't say for sure. I heard they Margot Bordeaux the first night was at the lodge. Sounded like they were up to something suggestive. It was sounded very suggestive, but who knows? I prefer to assume the best of people. One item suggests Nessa came to the lodge intended to threaten or harm the almonds. Mr. Rich is allergic to almonds, and Nessa knew that. She brought those Jordan almonds with her and filled that cut crystal bowl in the parlor. Over it as you please. Nessa wasn't just being a rude guest, she was a bully. Fuck bullies, by the way. And that's how she killed her brother, poor Mr. Richards. Okay, I got one question wrong. I'm great. I'm feeling great with that. Wake up the next morning feeling refreshed and ravenous. You kinda want to go back into the bare minimum playthrough with as much possible unsolved. I don't know, it's interesting, like a lot of the stuff that we did do was not relevant to progress the game, and that's clearly do a second playthrough, check for everything so you can answer all the questions at the end properly. We got one question wrong, which was who helped her steal the steins, I think. But I think we did pretty well, and some of the stuff we didn't get like full evidence to be completely sure of it. I wanted to talk to Jack about the medicine, but by the time I got to the kit and learned about it, I didn't have a chance to talk with Jack. Well, I could have talked to him at the mine. Maybe I should have. I can do that, like just reload and check. I'm not gonna do all of this again. I'm actually satisfied. But that's the replayability of the game. Which adventure games shouldn't have, they don't need to have replayability. At least I don't expect it from them. But this game does. You can play back through it and figure everything out so you can answer this better. And it's pretty clear, it makes it pretty clear that's how it's supposed to work. As you make your way down the upstairs hallway, you begin to smell the inviting aromas of coffee and bacon. You enter the kitchen and find the other inhabitants gathered around the table, digging into a hearty breakfast. You join in. Morning light is streaming through the small window, causing motes of dust to sparkle and dance in the light. Jack, you helped Margot steal Nessa's ruby brooch, didn't you? I found your fingerprint on it. Well, I didn't help her steal it. Yeah, you helped her hide it. I helped her hide it. I think we're all sick of Nessa's shenanigans. How did you know? I found Nessa's brooch in Margot's walk-in closet, pinned under one of her hats. But that was after Corvus had thoroughly examined those hats. So someone moved the brooch after Margot died. You were close with Margot? She trusted you with her secrets? Yeah, it was me. I hid the brooch up there in the closet after Nessa and Corvus had ransacked it. After Margot died. I think it was the last place they'd check, if they ever came back to the lodge to take another look. I would have kept it on me, except we were heading to the mine last night to go find Mr. Richards. Who knows what could have happened. I didn't want to get caught with the brooch and charged with theft. We'd planned to sell the brooch to help pay for the lodge's upkeep. It ain't cheap. Nessa was trying to lay claim to the whole place, but she never lifted a finger to take care of it, nor sent a dime. I actually think that's a pretty good idea. Here, you hand the ruby brooch over to Jack. Thanks, Nancy, I will. Her secrets. Did you hear us in her boudoir that first night? You flush a bit. Yes, I did. That must have sounded odd, but we were just friends, I swear. I know. Margot knew Nessa and Corvus would rummage through their things. That's actually good that they're clarifying this stuff, in case you had some questions, so you don't have to do another playthrough if you don't want to. Which a lot of people don't. I think most people don't play games more than once. So this is very, how do I say, very generous of the dev to answer all of these. Her vanity has a lock, but she suspected that it wasn't secure. In fact, she suspected it had been tampered with already. I kept the brooch in my pocket for a bit, but then when we were fixing to head to the Garnet Mine, I didn't want to bring it with me. So I wouldn't be able to find it there before. So I nipped upstairs to her giant closet and pinned it to the underside of one of her hats, up on one of those mannequin heads. I figured should Nessa and Corvus return to the lodge, let's place a look somewhere they already searched. Kimmy, I'm sorry that your burning trip was full of so much drama and tension, but I'm very glad I got to meet you. But he didn't say what he was doing in the closet after all. Thanks so much, Nancy, that's very kind of you. Yes, it was one of the strangest trips I've ever taken. So much unpleasantness and tragedy. But I don't regret coming here. Crimson is a beautiful place. Margot was very kind. Jack and Nathan really helped me feel at home here, despite everything. Now, like I said, I don't think I'm gonna do everything again. But there is a chair next to Jack. I'm pretty sure that's where Ivan would be sitting if we saved him. There's pancakes in front of him. That's very sad. I liked Mr. Richards too. He was the quiet type like me. Sometimes people take that the wrong way. I didn't. Not with him. And he loved Crimson. I can see why. And Nancy, I'm very glad I got to meet you too. You're one of a kind, brave and clever. No matter what happens, I'm sure you'll make your dreams come true. Thank you. That means a lot to me. I'll try my best. Nathan, I have to know. Yes. I have to know. Are there diamonds here in Crimson? Nathan and Jack exchanged meaningful looks. I think you and Jack were picking alluvial diamonds off the riverbank when I saw the two of you earlier tonight. I think Jack hides the little diamonds in the bag of rock salt in the smokehouse. I grabbed a handful of salt and soaked it in water, so the crystals didn't dissolve. Nancy. There are diamonds in Crimson. I have to check the riverbanks regularly for ones that come down the river. Over time, we've managed to extract most of the gems that are in the ground, but soil erosion also reveals them. Every so often, we gotta go looking for more that appeared. They're easiest to see by moonlight. And because they're flowing down the river, the fish ate it. That's why the game started in the first place. Ivan used to help us. In fact, he used to do it all by himself. Fortunately for us, not many people were around. It was a difficult secret to keep, even then. Yeah, until that fish swallowed that whopper of a diamond. When that lucky duck fisherman caught it, nothing but trouble that was. My goodness, I see. Nancy, we know that your fieldwork is very important to you, and we certainly can't prevent you from divulging anything you may have discovered here. We can only ask you to think about what that news could mean for Crimson. We like it how it is now. I do too. And so did Margot. Came sitting there thinking, hello, I just heard everything. I'll pretend I'm okay with it. What will happen now? That will partially depend on you, Nancy. You all pile into Nathan's automobile. Your touch the key will make the long arduous trip to see you off. As the automobile trundles away from the lodge, you crane your neck and take one last look. I'm really going to miss this place, in spite of everything. You turn and face forward. The rattling of the rough road makes it hard to think. The only coherent thought you manage to have is... What will you tell your boss? And what could that mean for your future? Thank goodness the bridge has been repaired enough to allow trains to cross it again. How convenient. Repaired enough? You are traveling light, Nancy. I wouldn't be too concerned. I wouldn't send Ivan on a trip if I were you. Harumph, traveling light, thanks to Albert. Yes. Okay, Nancy, the train's gonna leave soon. Be well. Oh, but what about you, Kimmy? I've talked it over with Jack and Nathan, and I think I'll stay on for a bit. It's been so tense here. I want to relax, enjoy the birds. And the fall migration is starting in a few weeks. All the leaves will be changing color. I promised Jack that I'll help with the lodge chores. I'll earn my keep. That's wonderful news. I wish I could stay longer too, but I've got to get back to my job in the city. Good luck, Nancy. I'm going to miss you. I'll miss you too, Kimmy. Be well. Goodbye, Nancy. Yeah, bye, Nancy. Now go on, the train's not gonna wait forever. Right. Wave. Synchronized wave. There you go. Synchronized wave, everyone. You stare out the train window. It's a clear, cool morning. It's the same train, but it faces the other way. It's fine. As crisp and refreshing as it is this far north, you brace yourself for the muggy summer heat down by Toronto. Your mind is buzzing with all that has transpired over the last few days. It feels like you're returning home from a long voyage. You can't help but wonder, did you miss anything? Did you leave any loose ends? Would you like to be privy to some helpful introspective thoughts? Yes or no? I'm not gonna replay the game. It actually likely would be the same. I'm gonna say yes, because I don't intend to replay it. A note has been added to your notebook. Yes. You pondered the thoughts you had the previous night before bed. Right, so it tells, basically is, do you want to do another playthrough and try better? Say no, otherwise say yes, and it'll give you a satisfying, fulfilling everything. If I'd be confronted Jack with hard evidence, I might have gotten a confession. Right, I just didn't have a chance. Well, maybe at the mine entrance. What could have happened to the Silversteins? I don't know. If I ask around after Margot's death, folk will feel less protective of her and more talkative. Yeah, I didn't press too much on that. I didn't, because I was playing this as a traditional adventure game. I thought that everything was like necessary for progression. We have a bunch of stuff that wasn't. And I just figured, yeah, eventually it will become like, we're doing a puzzle now that's going to be relevant for later. And no, it's just you can investigate a lot more than the main plot. I didn't expect that. Which again is fine, because it sets up for a second playthrough for people who are into that. And they're giving us enough stuff about it now that we're not gonna be leaving unsatisfied. Yeah, it lets you do things naturally, but it still gives you enough information afterwards. Albert was an imposter, no question about it. He was definitely not an expert mineralogist. The glacial Redick boulder was not mineralogically relevant to this region, he had no idea. Right, that was it was kind of obvious. Albert's actions certainly didn't have his mineralogist charade. What about his words? Is there any written proof that he was an expert mineralogist? I'm pretty sure that Nathan was Mr. Richards' friend, yes? Did I miss any important details of his actions? Jack and Nathan were doing something at the riverbank by the bridge at the diamonds. Steffi had approached the situation from a different direction to heard the conversation. Yeah, I thought I was going to be able to leave and come from a different direction, but they split apart. That's one of those that you have to reload or know beforehand, so you can come from behind and not from the sides. What if Nathan was trying to preserve and protect the lodge and lands? Yeah, he was. That's pretty obvious. We didn't get the conversation that they had with Albert at the boathouse. That might have helped as well. I sought out Albert's help. I should have kept my eyes and ears open for that circumstance. He did. That's the conversation they had at the boathouse that I just mentioned. Did Nathan stand to lose anything by helping Mr. Richards? No. Unless Richards wanted the diamonds for money. He was at a dining room meeting with Ranger Murdoch. Yeah, they brought Murdoch. They had some purpose for him. Probably in terms of like the diamonds, because they didn't know anything about Carl. I was going to ask Jack about it at the time, but he didn't seem to want me to address that. Maybe if I asked Jack about Nathan after that meeting, or even Nathan himself, I'd learn something interesting. Yeah, she's given us a bunch of hints. If you wanted to write this down for a second playthrough, that's when we would do it. What was Jack and Nathan trying to conceal? Do you have any promising theories about that? It's just the diamonds. If I was able to listen to the conversation by the bridge, maybe I would have learned more. You don't think Margot and Jack were having an affair? They weren't. Wish I was more convinced about that. Yeah, if we had asked Jack about the medicine. Unlike Margot's vanity drawers, maybe I'll learn more if I take a closer look inside. I did. Can't think of much else actually. Alright, we got mostly everything. I'm satisfied. Turn attention towards your impending interview with Ranger Murdoch. As far as Margot's death, yeah, I gave him a bunch of information. I do know about the arsenic and everything else. Margot mentioned she had aches, could have been asked her about that. Alright, I didn't. Maybe Margot was killed by something she ate or drank. Yeah, no, I do know that. I could have gotten more information on it, but I do know what happened. I had a feeling Corvus' satchel contains important information that I've overlooked. I tried to look at his satchel, it was locked. Didn't solve the mystery of the missile silver welding steins. I do know that Margot took them, she admitted as much. True. Don't know where the steins are now, maybe I should have made some inquiries. Wonder if you could save Margot. I doubt it, that's way too important for the plot line. That's way too freaking important. I would be amazed if you could. They never bring up, like, well, they didn't bring up possibly saving even. Particularly after Margot's death, when perhaps people no longer feel the need to protect her. Alright. That's everything we potentially missed from a full 100% playthrough. Ranger Murdoch meets you at Union Station as arranged. Ranger Murdoch. They're reusing this scene, I didn't expect that. Hello Nancy, it's good to see you again. Would you like me to drive you home to a rest? No thanks, I'm eager to have my interview, let's go. Right, follow me. This scene is amazing. Look at her face. There's the box on front, but you look over at the wanted poster on the bulletin board and see a familiar face. The face has familiar features, but the expression gives you pause. It's unmistakably Margot, but she looks scared and angry. The name is different too. Yeah, she had a business elsewhere that... I don't remember the name of the place, but Nessa knew about it. So yeah, she had a troubled past. The Margot you knew was at peace, kind and caring. You feel fortunate to have met her when you did. Poster lists her offenses: assault, theft, racketeering, public nuisance. Nancy? Yeah, she's looking at the poster. Sorry, just lost in thought. Ah yes, that person has been on the most wanted list for a few years now. Skagway was a near lawless place. Yeah, that's the place. Sometimes who the criminals were was a matter of public opinion. And sometimes if you didn't make friends with the right people, you could get stuck with all sorts of trumped up charges. Does she look familiar to you? No, I don't recognize her. Very well, let's begin. Suddenly the door bursts open to reveal your boss, Professor Plummer. Slides. Nancy, there you are, welcome back. I've heard the train had come in. Sir, we're in the middle of a confidential interview. My apologies, I won't be a moment. Nancy, what did you find? Are there diamonds in Crimson? I must know. Yes or no? Nope. Terribly sorry, no diamonds, leave that place alone. I'm afraid I didn't find anything significant, Professor. I managed to obtain some good samples though, and I think I'll still be able to produce a good report for my fieldwork. It just won't be very exciting. Ah, sorry to hear it, Nancy. As for exciting, most research isn't. True, very true. Don't worry too much about that. Come see me when you're ready. And I'll help you with your report. Thanks so much, Professor Plummer. Take care, Nancy. See you soon. You slide. Okay, now let's really begin. Any information provided will be kept strictly confidential, of course. Thank you, I appreciate it. We detained Nessa Crabble in connection with Evan Richards' kidnapping and murder and attempted fraud. After examining the area, we believe Mr. Richards was assaulted at the jetty near the lodge. Do you have any evidence connecting Nessa to the scene of the jetty? Yes or no? Yes, I do, sir. What evidence did you find? If there are multiple points to make, we'll discuss them separately. Fingerprints? Found Nessa's fingerprints on the sherry crystal decanter at the jetty. It was made of thick glass. It wouldn't have broken from being tipped over or dropped from carrying weight. I think Nessa had a confrontation with Ivan on the jetty, during which she forcibly threw the decanter down, causing it to break. Well done, Nancy! Our investigators found that broken decanter and came to a similar conclusion. Did you find anything in the areas beside the jetty? Connect Nessa. Yes! What evidence did you find? There are multiple points to make. We'll discuss them separately. Button. Not sure if they've done it for these instances. Do you have anything else to share? Yes. This. Metal button. Metal button. Yes. Okay, maybe she's not all the way over there still. I can talk about the hairs. I recovered these hairs from the woods north of the jet and pretty confident they belong to Nessa. You hand the long gray-brown hairs over to Ranger Murdoch. Wow, our investigators didn't find any hairs? I'll send someone over to take another look. The bulbs of these hairs are intact, that means they needed to be ripped from the scalp with some force. That definitely implies there was a part of struggle in that area. I'm going to have to give you those hairs, Nancy? Of course. Do you have anything else to share that will connect Nessa with the kidnapping areas other than the jetty? Yes. So he's talking about Nessa, so the metal button will not be relevant. I didn't mention the fingerprints, I didn't mention the hair. I could talk about the jar. No, I don't think I have anything else regarding Nessa. No, I'm afraid not. Okay, moving on. I believe Mr. Rich is being held in the large smokehouse before being moved to the garnet mine. But if that's to support a theory regarding... Yes? I did find the rope. I found rope fibers on the floor of the smokehouse. I believe it was tied up and then taken away later. We think so too. We found the same rope fibers. And the evidence we can gather will help us build a case against Nessa. You like to have the ice in your pockets. Yeah, it's trying to melt. But it's Canadian ice. It's strong. How do you show God that Mr. Rich is taken to the garnet mine? If you're not sure, you can say no or pass. The symbol. Mr. Richards had used the gem from Jack's thumbprint cookie to draw a hidden symbol. It rewards you for remembering stuff. That's great. The symbol was a red circle surrounded by a round red border. Red? Symbol even resembled the thumbprint cookies, which I learned are called hallongrotta in Swedish. Hallongrotta means raspberry cave in English. In the raspberry cave could be a garnet mine? Exactly, Mr. Richards was talking about the garnet mines at dinner on the night I arrived in Crimson. He said it had been deserted for years, was the perfect place for them to hide him. We were to recover Mr. Richards' body from the mine. The autopsy revealed his airway was solely inflamed. Mr. claims his death was accidental, that he choked to death on the Jordan almonds he was trying to feed him. Have any knowledge that might contradict her claim? Yes? Alright, interesting. What did you learn? Regarding the almonds... Mr. Richards is allergic to almonds and had been since childhood. It was common knowledge, and as I brought Jordan almonds with her, we should return to the lodge. I found shardy pieces of Jordan almonds in the smokehouse when I believe Mr. Richards was briefly held. I managed to recover one of Nessa's fingerprints for the remnants of one of these shiny candy shells. Stellar work, Nancy! Our investigative team didn't find that. What's more, there were more Jordan almond pieces in the cavern where Nessa brought them. There's no doubt in my mind that Nessa brought the Jordan almonds to the lodge, knowing full well how dangerous they were to Mr. Richards. Maybe at first she only planned to intimidate him with them, but in the end, she killed him with them. Let's move on to Corvus Shaw rolling Mr. Richards' kidnapping and murder. Do you have any evidence? Yes! Metal button. I found this metal button which I recovered from outside the smokehouse. I observed Corvus wearing a striped vest with the exact type of button the very same night. If you examine the clothing he was wearing at the time, I'm sure you'll find that one of the buttons is missing. We didn't then make note of the missing button, now we know what happened to it. It's a very good piece of evidence, Nancy. May I have it? Of course. Anything else? Yes, I do. Footprints. I found Corvus' shoe print on the jetty and the woods leading away from the jetty and leading to the smokehouse. Shoe prints on the jetty must have been formed when he stepped into the split whiskey, and they were still wet. That suggests to me that he was either present during the abduction of Mr. Richards or soon after. Considering the scuff marks I saw on the jetty, Mr. Richards was dragged away with some force. I doubt Nessa, an elderly lady, could have dragged her brother away with that amount of force. That's terrific work, Nancy. Our investigators didn't see any shoe prints on the jetty. They must have dried up before we got there. For now that we know they're there, perhaps some forensic processes will help reveal them. I think Corvus's movements during that time are pretty clear. Very thorough of you, every bit helps. I think that's all the information I have about connecting Corvus to the crimes against Mr. Richards. Okay, let's move on. What about lesser crimes? Suspect Corvus was brought to the lodge by Nessa to commit fraud. Is there anything that will help us build that case, yes or no? Yes. What proof do you have, Jar? Yes. Can talk about the will? I really do think that Kovos was engaged in fraud, but I don't have any actual proof. She makes a face looking at us. You didn't grab any proof, dickhead. Sorry, Ranger Murdoch, I don't think I have anything to contribute to the line of questioning. That's okay, we can move on. What about Carl Leffler? You can tell me about him. Rangers apprehended him in the middle of his sabotage attempt on the 500 locks, so that's an open and shut case. Suspect this man involved in other illegal acts. Do you think you can attribute other... Yes? Please continue, what have you discovered? Blast cap. Yes, cap. I think Carl sabotaged the train bridge. On the same strip of telegraph tape that revealed Albert's real name the next time for sabotage, it said... Yeah, that face, hacker. Well done in Crimson. I found a stick of dynamite under his bed. I think he rolled there when he was packing to hurriedly leave the lodge. On the way to the lodge on that first night in Crimson, Jack commented on how heavy Carl's set of luggage was. I bet most of Carl's luggage was dedicated to hauling explosives equipment, dynamite, and blasting caps. In fact, I found a tin of blasting caps that Carl left in the lodge, as well as a bullet. It was definitely up to no good. Gee, thanks. What? I think we missed the dialogue there. Carl's fingerprint on this tin of blasting caps, it definitely handled them. Excellent work, Nancy. May I have the tin? It's very compelling evidence. Of course, here you go. Carl knew to store the dynamite separately from the blasting caps. He probably had training in explosives or at least some of prior knowledge. I'm almost certain that if Rangers search the immediate area on the bridge, they'll find discarded luggage, possibly part of the same set with explosives residue inside. This is very helpful information. We originally suspected Leffler of the bridge sabotage, but hadn't thought to search for luggage that matches the set he was carrying when we arrested him at the 500 locks. That would be a very compelling connection to make should we find such an item. Speaking of items, do you have to have the telegraph tape? I do, here you go. Thanks, Nancy. Do you have the bullet? Yes, absolutely. Thanks, Nancy. There's something else you'd like to tell me about Leffler, just as so. Say no. Luggage. I found his train ticket stub on one of the checkers I left behind before he fled the lodge. When I saw him on the platform in Crimson, I mentioned that I hadn't seen him on the train. He told me that he'd been in the first-class car, which was a lie. His ticket stub clearly said coach, same as mine in Kimmy's. I vaguely remember a man sitting directly behind Kimmy and I for a part of the journey up to Crimson. He was concealed by a newspaper and I never saw his face. I think he overheard me and Kimmy talking about Crimson and why we were traveling there. He must have been afraid I'd be able to reveal him as an imposter if I had my field kit, so he got rid of it while me and Kimmy were sleeping. I think he tossed my luggage out of the back of the train. That would be the easiest way to dispose of it surreptitiously. Surreptitiously. That word's so weird to me. He then hid in the neighboring first-class car when it was empty near the end of our journey. Very well deduced, Nancy. It just so happens Rangers found your luggage near the train tracks between Crimson's train station and the previous stop. Oh my goodness, they did! Look at her face. Yes, your name was found on the tag inside. Everything is intact. That's wonderful news. I was afraid I'd have to save up for another field kit. Your luggage is still an exhibit in the ongoing investigation into Carl Leffler. We found some fingerprints on the inside and outside of the luggage. We'll be needing to fingerprint you while you're here at the station, so we can separate your prints from those of the suspects. After the case is wrapped up, we'll return your luggage to you, of course. I understand. Thank you, Ranger Murdoch. Do you have the ticket stub you found? If so, may I have it? Of course, here you go. If you have something else you'd like to tell me about Leffler, just say so or say no and ask about something else. What's the name of the thing? Glacial sample? Yes. We could tell him about the glacial sample. Yeah, he doesn't care. Can you talk about him's connection to Kimmy? I don't think... fingerprint. I can't think of anything else. No, I'm afraid not. Okay, moving on. And finally, Margot's death. Margot's murder. This appears to be the case we're looking into. Do you have any evidence you'd like to give me? Yes. Hair? I took the sample of Margot's hair after she died. I read that hair analysis can sometimes help determine the cause of death. Yes, indeed, I can't make any promises, but this could help us with our investigation. Do anything else? Yes, flypaper. This empty box of flypaper in the garden shed. After reading its tiny warning label, I discovered that flypaper contains arsenic. Jack maintains a supply of flypaper at the lodge, but this is the only box that was in the shed. And this box looks crisp and new, but empty. I suspect NASA was stealing flypaper and extracting arsenic from it. An interesting theory, Nancy. Might take this box into evidence? Of course. Have anything else? The jar. Recovered this gem jar from the river by Crimson Lodge. I think it's a key piece of evidence against NASA regarding Margot's poisoning. And the gem jar. Thanks, Nancy. What can you tell me about it? There's a powdery white residue inside along with a bit of flypaper. I'd be very interested to learn what the residue is, though I wouldn't be surprised if it is arsenic. Really? Yes, the box for the flypaper strips warns that they contain arsenic. Pretty dangerous stuff. We'll find out one way or another. Thanks, Nancy. I found a fingerprint on the outside of the gem jar. It's Nessa's fingerprint. This could go a long way towards connecting Nessa to Margot's death, and very possibly to ruling the death of poisoning. Excellent work. What's more, I overheard Nessa having a conversation with Corvus in the apple orchard. She admitted to soaking flypaper in a glass jar to obtain poison, storing it in her flask and tossing the jars over the waterfall. That's pretty incriminating, especially if the evidence can back up your story. Thanks. Do you have anything else to show me? Is there anything else? There should be. If he's asking, then there is. Maybe I didn't find everything. Crap. I guess not. I think that does it, actually. Thanks for your time, Nancy. You head home after completing your interview with Ranger Murdoch and immediately set to work on a field report of Crimson. You write at length about the samples you obtained and the observations you've made, though you do leave out a few details, such as that there are diamonds in Crimson. Professor Plummer proves to be an enthusiastic and patient mentor despite his mild disappointment at the unremarkable findings. You impressed him with your attention to detail and hard work. Together, you produce an impeccable field report that is published by the Royal Canadian Museum and eventually endorsed by the Geological Survey of Canada. Your first publication, Nancy, a real feather in your cap. Weeks pass. Soon, you're immersed in your regular life. You become an expert on the filing system and even suggest some ways to improve it. You find yourself missing the fresh air, the roaring waterfalls, and rushing rivers of Crimson. You wonder if you'll ever hear about how things are going up there. Until one day. There you are, Nancy! I thought today's newspaper might be of interest to you. Oh, look at the little cat. Look at the little cat on the bottom left corner. Look at the little cat. Oh, Crimes of the North. Both of them are wanted. Wait, if she's wanted, wasn't she in custody? Did she escape? You're relieved to see no mention of Crimson anywhere, not even the smallest news items. You figured no news is good news. There's no mention at all about Albert's, Carl's attempted sabotage at the 500 locks, only that there will be minor delays due to routine maintenance. Of course, it's a secret with the war and everything else. They probably want to make sure there aren't any more explosive devices in and around the locks. Yet Albert succeeded. You shudder to think of it. Skim the rest of the newspaper and nothing else catches your eye. That's a relief, I suppose. What about the wanted thing right up front? She just leaves, doesn't even say goodbye. Too bad about the whole diamond fiasco, eh, Nancy? But we both knew it was a long shot. Go work today, kiddo. See you tomorrow, bright and early. Yes, sir. You start the long walk home. You're relieved that the Crimson won't become an open pit mine and that Kimmy and her cormorants are safe and happy. Kimmy and her cormorants. Nice. Oh, look at this little scene. Lucky Diner. Hiya, Nancy. Another late night, eh? Eh? I'm Canadian. I've got a bit of a stew saved for you, kept it nice and warm on the stove. Thanks, Mrs. Williams. I'm starving. Go on in, lass. I'll serve it up. I'll be down in a bit. Okay, lass, take your time. It's getting cold. Mrs. Williams ladles a hearty bowl of stew and slices a bit of bread for you. The food is delicious and warms you to the bone. She sits with you and the two of you chat about the goings-on in the neighborhood. It's always cold in Canada. Sounds lovely. We're going to be... this week, in a span of 2 days, we're going to be hitting 31 Celsius and 5 Celsius. And I assure you that's not good for your health. You're grateful she rents your room so cheaply. Museum clerks don't get paid very much. Once your belly is full and Mrs. Williams says wash the bowl, she waves you away from this menial task. Very important. You step lightly upstairs, lest you wake the other lodgers. The clothes line on top of the stove. Oh, they're using the animation of her getting into bed. That's fine. Oh, that's a bit different. You fall asleep jailed, no longer wanted jailed. You fall asleep as your head hits the pillow. You're exhausted, and tomorrow will be another exhausting day. But every exhausting day is another step closer to making your dreams come true. Well done, Nancy! It's been topping out at 41 Celsius over there. Well, it's summer over there. It's winter down here. It shouldn't be 31 Celsius in the dead of winter. It's freaking August, for crying out loud. But yeah, 41 Celsius is horrible. Kenny Cos hasn't been streaming lately because of the heat over there as well. You did a good job with sussing out the motives and actions of the other guests, but you missed the mark on a few things, and that's okay. You scored 14 points out of 24 during your pre-departure ponderings. Interesting. Your performance is satisfactory during your interview with the Ranger, but you could have been more helpful. You scored 12 points out of 19 during your interview with Ranger Murdoch. You did pretty well in your investigation and reporting of Margot's death. You scored 6 out of 8 on Margot's investigation. I'm satisfied. I didn't even know I was doing all of that. I would have tried harder probably if I knew. I was just trying to progress through the game. And that's fine, like, a game that has a good reason for you to play it again shouldn't let you know at the start. Otherwise you're going to be too focused on that and ignore the rest of the game. This lets you play the game again, having a reason to find new stuff. Carl Effler, aka Albert Respa, was tried and found guilty of sabotage of the railroad bridge, attempted sabotage of the 500 locks, espionage, fraud, theft, and a litany of minor charges. He was incarcerated at Kingston Penitentiary until his death, 12 years later, of a heart attack. The 500 locks were patrolled by the Northwest Mounted Police for the duration of the Great War, and no other sabotage attempts were made. Thanks to this vigilance, Canadian supply lines along the Great Lake waterways remained uninterrupted. This played an important part in Commonwealth War efforts and crucially contributed to the Allied victory. We won the war, chat. Single-handedly. Corvus Shaw was found guilty of being an accomplice to Ivan's kidnapping and murder. He was disbarred and served 8 years in a medium security prison. Upon released, he dedicated himself to community service. Thank you for the GG, Sakura. This game is very satisfying. Like, just having everything laid out to you, here's everything that happened. It's so good. Like, some people might feel like it drags on a little bit at the end, but I do appreciate it. Like, of course I like when a story is like, oh, how did it end? It's open-ended, here's a hook for the sequel. You know, let the guy wonder what's actually going on. No, but I appreciate the game just being straightforward. No, we planned everything, the single dev. Thank you for the GG's, Maple Mystery. The single dev was like, no, listen, I did plan everything, this is not Lost. Okay, this is not those bullshit shows where the first season looks planned and everything else goes to shit. No, here we have everything planned and it's correct and proper, and here's everything that happened afterwards. This is very satisfying. Speaking of the single dev, yeah, I just mentioned the dev. And we just got a raid. Slayer raid. I don't think she can. Welcoming Slayer Super Show and Raiders. You caught me at the end of this. If you intend to play the Crimson Diamond, you should probably leave because we're at the end. There's a bunch of spoilers right here. Welcoming Raiders. We're playing Resident Evil 4. That's a good game. Were you playing the old one on GameCube or were you playing the remake? Yeah, I'm spoiling, I'm sorry. I did not. I'm going to reload the remake, alright. If you don't want spoilers for the Crimson Diamond, you have to get out of here. Like, honest, okay? But Maple Mystery, I'm going to reload and I'll just want to check if I can. I'm 100% certain I can save even, but I did not save even. I got a very good score on both. Like, I think there are 3 scores. I didn't get full marks on anything, but I'm satisfied with what I got. I got 6 out of 8 with Margot. I got 12 out of 19 with my investigation and 16 or 18 out of 24 for my I was pretty good. I figured out pretty much everything, even though I didn't have hard evidence for some of it. But yeah, Margot died, and Maple Mystery was asking if it is possible to save her. I'm pretty sure it's such a pivotal point in the plot that you can't. But I'm pretty sure I can save even. Alright, Slay Super Show, thank you so much for the raid. And do take a good rest. Post-stream care is important. And thank you for the GGs. Yeah. Yeah, no, Margot is like that is way too pivotal for the plot. Like Maple Mystery will have to have a separate set of chapters 4 through 7 for that. You wish you'd recovered evidence for the authorities to charge him with forgery and attempted fraud, but you're glad he had to face the consequences of the other crimes. Yeah, I didn't get anything regarding the will. And that's what I was talking about, Maple Mystery, and this is perfectly fine. I had no idea I was investigating other shit and that it was going to be relevant. Like, all the stuff that I did find out was by accident while trying to progress through the game. And that's fine, because like I was saying, all of this is obviously supposed to be for a second playthrough. And when you have a game that has a second playthrough in mind, you shouldn't let the player know before he plays. Otherwise, it's going to take all the fun out of the game trying to figure out everything on the first playthrough. So this is the right way to do it. Like that, let the player go through the game thinking that there isn't anything else to it, so he can enjoy the main storyline and not be too worried about anything else. And then it becomes obvious, yeah, if you're one of those that wants a second playthrough, you can have it. It's not my case. I usually play games once. I'm satisfied with what I got. I got more than I expected. Because like just trying to get through the puzzle with the cookie, I ended up finding the diamonds from the salt, and that was enough to figure out a bunch of stuff. The systems are hidden. Yeah, that too. No, the hell trees. I did figure out the diamonds, but I did not tell the office because I'm not a dick. Well done. Yeah. Every time the game said that, I had to do that voice because of an ad that I watched before. Well done. Margot was laid to rest alongside Ivan and his parents in Crimson's lushy overgrown cemetery. By the way, very good touching in showing her wanted poster. So you are reminded of her past. And thanks for not even giving me the choice. I would hate if people had the choice of telling, oh yeah, that was Margot, she's dead. It's better to let it lie. So I'm glad no one can mess that up. In Crimson's lushy overgrown cemetery, in an informal service attended by Jack, Nathan, and Kimmy, you issued being able to make Nessa's face justice for Margot's murder. The least Margot's at rest where she was loved. Right, I missed one or two pieces of evidence regarding that. Kimmy Kishiro stayed on at the lodge until after the autumn migration of birds, when she returned to Vancouver to be with her family. From then on, she'd visit Crimson for the spring and autumn migrations, as well as the cormorant's nesting season, every summer. Following Ivan's death, Jack remained at the lodge, continuing to take care of it under the supervision of the Cardinal family. When Jack became old and creaky, the Cardinals in turn took care of him. When he turned creaky, I haven't seen that word used like that. It's very efficient. He continued working diligently as a clerk at the Royal Canadian Museum. A month later, you accepted the University of Toronto in the Department of Geology and Paleontology as an undergraduate, which is... Some people might not understand the impact of this because she's a woman in 1914. Joining a university department like that is no easy feat. Story progression is very natural. Yeah, no, that's very good, Sakura. And like the game, I was talking about this when Nessa murdered Ivan. I was like, holy shit, because the game is so wholesome and cozy that increases the impact of his death a lot. Like you really feel squeamish when it happens. A page that you took from the Colonel's Bequest. I saw you mentioned on McCall's stream that game was an inspiration, and that was the first game I thought of when I saw screenshots to your game. Professor Plummer spoke highly of your fieldwork in Crimson in his letter of recommendation. Although your findings weren't revolutionary, he tells you that impeccable work, regardless of results, is the bedrock of any scientific discipline. Thank you, and that is very proud of you. A few months later, you receive a letter from Ranger Murdoch praising your investigative prowess and tenacity in helping to foil the sabotage attempt at the 500 locks. He sees you're a natural detective and that he hopes your paths will cross again someday. Thanks for playing. Well, thank you for making the game. And timer. Seriously, the mech part was made by a dude called Chad Armstrong. Where did you find someone called Chad Armstrong? Good job. A great name, he's awesome. Yeah, I see his opposite testers as well. Here are the patrons. You can miss a lot in that game, yeah. It is kind of obvious indeed. Yeah, 12 hours, 49 minutes. Consider, like, the game was advertised as being 7 to 10 hours long. I took longer, but, you know, I was reading everything aloud. And I ended up only using 3 hints. Let me remove the hint counter from there. I ended up using only 3 hints. One is not the game's fault. I was too sleepy to think. It was a horrible day. The other 2 were for the cookie puzzle, and the thing is, like, I watched McCall struggle with it, with people giving him hints all the time, so that puzzle is the hardest part of the game by far. But I didn't have problem with the puzzle itself, like the double boiler and everything. My two problems were I didn't find the wax and I didn't see the raw cookie. Everything else I figured out by myself. So that both of those are kind of my fault. Maybe if I... Although I think if you look in the dining room, you don't see the wax. It's only told to you after the dinner. The raw cookie was my fault. I should have seen it when looking. Only 3 hits. Yeah. Yeah, I accidentally solved the double boiler while trying to find a adhesive. I accidentally found diamonds while trying to solve the double boiler. That's even more amazing if you ask me. I'm feeling good having played this game. Now, I'm not suggesting like I hope you're doing well with the sales for this game. I really do. And when I was when I saw that scene with Albert / Carl throwing the suitcase out of the train, that entire sequence, as soon as he threw it and it landed and it was like the opening scene for the game, I said, and people who are here can attest to that, I said I want a sequel. It will say at the end of the first thing if you look at the room after chapter 1 X. Oh wait, I didn't look at it again. So if you want to make a sequel, I would love to play that one as well. You should have something where Ranger Murdoch contacts you to do detective work or something. You have a sequel planned. Alright. And I was joking that you should try to upgrade to VGA graphics. To be extra fancy. But then you can't reuse some of this stuff, and you should reuse some of this stuff, lol, never. No, high def VGA, no, come on, man, let's not take it that far. I'm not entirely sure if you should. Actually. Now, I'm gonna try this. I don't think I can, but I'm gonna give it a few attempts. I tried to throw the almonds and it didn't work. What's the name of that thing? By the way, I got an achievement for exploding Jack. That was really good. Throw crystal. Start to make a move, but the shadows aren't enough to conceal your actions. Okay. Let me reload. VGA was very high definition for its day. Yeah, no, you said high definition VGA, I started thinking about SVGA instead. Okay, so I can't move. Now, I'm finished with the game. I don't feel like I need to do this, but Oh, whistle. Do I still have the whistle? This is really not a good time, Nancy. Outstanding. The game said I shouldn't move. I can't move. What was that? I don't know, someone died, I guess. Just another cave-in. Aha! Oh. Ah, okay. This is a pretty good place to conceal myself should Corvus happen to turn his head. Oh, now I can throw shit. Throw crystal. Where do you like to throw that? In the fire? Throw crystal in the fire. Where would you like? Throw crystal. On Corvus. Throw crystal at Corvus. Where would you like to throw that? Throw crystal. At Nessa. Throw crystal. Ahead? There's no ahead. Throw crystal. In Chasm. Blow whistle. Alright, goodbye, Maple Mystery. Enjoy. I can't throw at the fire. Throw crystal at fire. Where would you like to throw that? Throw almonds. Aha! So not the almonds, so I had to throw the crystal somewhere. Oh, throw brooch. Throw brooch at fire. I can never throw things anywhere. Throw crystal at beans. Throw crystal at entrance. Throw crystal away. You take one last look at the stunning crystal sample before throwing it down the passage. Sure, I could have found something more suitable for throwing. Oh well, this is an emergency situation. What was that? Someone coming from the middle passage? I thought I heard something too. I'll take a look. Please let me die to a cave-in. He dies to a cave-in. There you go. Corvus! What have you done, you oaf? Either Corvus is inaudible behind the pile of rubble, or unable to reply. Eek! I didn't expect that to happen. I just went to create a distraction. Oops, he's dead. Corvus? Let's see if I can free Mr. Richard. Was Nessa's preoccupied? 2 against 1 sounds like better odds. Maybe we can turn the tables on her until Jack arrives with help. You'd better be digging as hard as I am, Corvus. You always mess things up. Nessa continues to point ineffectually through the rubble while chastising Corvus. Let me put down a save. Save even. Nancy? What are you doing here? You just don't know when to quit, do you? When I get over there, I wish you never meddled. Cut ropes. Time. I was gonna say that this game didn't have anything timed in it, but it does. Using the white curds to cut the ropes that are binding Mr. Richards. I've got you, dearie. Nessa pulls a knife out of her skirt pocket. Nessa ties you up tight to the length of the rope and sees dumb beside her. What? No! 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 Cut rope. Not close enough. Cut rope. Nice! I cut it before she realizes. Nancy? Don't know when to quit. Wait, I didn't cut it? Why? Wait, what? I can't... I start to cut, but it doesn't finish? Cut rope. Finish cutting the rope. It says I finished cutting the ropes, but it's not enough. Knock Nessa out with mug. Knocking wouldn't help. Hit Nessa with mug. Yields no result. Take lamp. Nancy? Stop! Come any closer and I'll throw this lantern over the edge. You need the light just as much as we do. No one can leave this cavern without it. Jack will be along shortly. It's over, Nessa. You! I can't move. You can try getting away, but my dear little brother certainly can't. Don't come any closer. Stay where you are! You're trying to tell me what to do? How dare you! Why did I ever set foot in Crimson? Why? If it hadn't been for you... Nessa is so overawed she can barely speak. Nessa stamps her foot angrily. You! Look at her face! You're running everything! Oh, she's stamping her foot and causing a thing. All of my planning, all that I've done! Undone by you! You meddlesome slip of a girl! Trying to keep it PG-13. Nice. Nessa, be careful! Don't tell me what to do! How dare you! Man, that's an angry face. Nessa pulls a knife out of her skirt pocket. You'll never leave here alive! Watch out! I said, don't tell me what to do! Oh no! Oh, it's cracking under her. Shit! Little animation of the floor cracking. The whole mine gives a great shudder, and part of the floor gives way. Nancy! Nessa clings desperately to the edge of a now yawning chasm, which has already swallowed her knife. Ah! Oh my god, I have to save the murderous bitch. Nessa, do you want help? Holy shit, look at this! This looks so fucking good. Look at her face with the glimmering light on her eyes. Do you hear me? Do you think you've won? Dumb luck is all it is! Nessa! I know that's being added to your notebook. Nessa is a bitch. Okay. Even doesn't deserve those diamonds. Once I get out of here, the world will know about them, and I'll be rich! Rich! Nessa doesn't appear amenable to questioning at this juncture. Worse than useless, aimless, you're violent, dull, never amount to anything! Come on, don't need your inventory right now. Never get ahead in the real world, you're too soft, I know! If there isn't here, grab Nessa. Oh Nessa, do be quiet for once. Well done. Okay, I think if you take too long, she dies. But I think this is the right thing to do. Nessa gasps for breath, recovering from her near-death experience. You know, dude dies, and the other scenario, he comes out of jail reformed. One good thing coming out of it. The Lion King thing. Yeah, we just show it to the rest of the animals and then you throw off the cliff. Yeah. Harumph! You're stronger than you look. Yeah, she's calm now. Still frazzled. Thanks. Harumph. I wonder if I could safely secure Nessa. I need to do something before I start standing up or else she might run off. Tie Nessa with wire. That achieves little effect. It shouldn't. Tie Nessa. Nessa. So you can't do that. Tie Nessa up. The silence, after all that intensity, the silence, it's even worse. It's still not over, chat. We can't tie her up with hair. I need to hit Nessa with mug. Shit. We can give her some arsenic. Give brooch to Nessa. Pull out Nessa's fingernails with pliers. I don't have pliers. It's not a good time to attempt that. Okay. Hold Nessa down. Punch Nessa. You wouldn't hurt a fly, but this is not ordinary fly. My god. I was looking at those clippers, whatever. Yeah, it's wire cutters. Try to secure Nessa before stand up. I could put the bullet to her head and hold my finger like this and they don't move. Tie Nessa's hands with wire. Wire Nessa. Shit, how do I secure her? I have wire. Place wire on Nessa. I can't use wire Nessa. Cut, maybe cut wire first? Nope. Cut Nessa? I can't cut her up. Knock Nessa out. Knocking wouldn't help. Cut rope. Not close enough. But I can't stand up. Push Nessa. It feels like it's timed, but I don't think it is. I think we spent enough time doing this already. Grab Nessa again. Look, Nessa. Nessa Crabble is Evan Richards' older sister. She's not frazzled in this photo. It's not timed, okay? She's a stern, matronly woman with a look of perpetual displeasure etching to her face. Back in the city, you've seen plenty of humans just like her, well-to-do and disapproving. She's trying to let herself that her near-death experience. She's catching her breath. Looks like she's standing up at any moment. Examine Nessa. I would not benefit from closer inspection. Take torch. No, because we could use maybe from the fire. It has something like that. Yeah, tie Nessa with rope, but tie Nessa up. I would expect it to say something along the lines of with what, but it says it doesn't accomplish anything. Free even. Not close enough and I can't stand up. Grab Nessa's wrists. Can't use wrists. Hit Nessa with rock. I could shove some salt into her mouth. I could offer her a cookie. Bull whistle. Really not a good time. Welcoming graphic, because I can't. Use is not use rope. You can't use in this game. You always have to use another verb. Take rope. I can't even grab it. Use wire. Take wire. Unwind wire. Cut wire. Grab wire. Tie wire. Shove almonds down nessa. Oh, we do have this. Ooh. Use tape on. Tie tape. Tape nessa. Tape Nessa's hands. Tape Nessa's mouth. I don't know, that's the first thing I would do. Grab this tape. Like, if I can't use the wire, use the tape. Put it on her wrists or something. Tie Nessa with tape. Tape. Wire. Look at Nessa. Catching her breath, standing up at any moment. Kick Nessa. Don't know her to fly. Hey, you guys got the joke. Try to secure Nessa before you stand up. Crawl towards Evans. Crawl towards Evans. Get up. This is going to... You make a move to get up, Nessa beats you to it. Your legs are still a bit shaky. Yeah, which is why I saved. As Nessa steps over you, she glances over at you, mutters something. You can't discern what she says. I'm not waiting around for your friends to get here. I'm taking this lantern and I'm leaving. Good, never come back. Harumph. Okay, if they come before she leaves, then that's the correct solution. Otherwise, I have to reload and try again. You start moving to follow Nessa, but Mr. Richards calls out to you. Let her go, Nancy. Don't leave me here alone. Okay, I won't. Eek, do you think that caving got her? Doesn't matter. We are safe for now. Right. Fuck Nessa. Turn Nessa into something less significant than a fly and then hurt. I've tried to kick and punch things the entire game. You managed to untie Mr. Richards now that you have all the time in the world. Thanks, Nancy. Mr. Richards waits quietly in the cavern, too spent to think of anything much to say. The only light now is the fire. I have no way to bring it along with you. There's anything here to fashion into an improvised torch either. All I can do is wait and hope. Sometimes the cavern shakes and quakes, and you wonder if you'll die without even knowing it. Alright. So this is solution number 2. I think we can do better. I don't know if I can, but I think one can. But we do save even in this one. Corvus is trapped behind the rope in the middle passageway. He should probably get him out. Okay, I'm gonna skip, and I'm going to, because I think that you can still get her somehow. If I try to get up, it doesn't work. Get lamp. Not close enough. Multiple endings make sense. Yeah, we already have 2 multiple endings graphic, because I've actually, the timer is stopped here because I already finished the game. But when I finished, Ivan ended up dead. So I'm replaying this particular part just to see what I can do differently. Yeah, you can do a lot of things in this game. It has a few deaths, but they're pretty humorous actually. Want an adventure game that you punch people that's beyond Shadowgate. Beyond Shadowgate is amazing, but I'm not brave enough for that. But I'm trying to see what I can do differently here. I already managed to save even. I want to see if I can... And trap Corvus. I want to see if I can trap her as well. Indiana Jones, LucasArts games. Yeah, I've talked a lot about Fate of Atlantis, which is one of my favorite adventure games. I've never finished it. Yeah, this one game here is released last week. I like that this bit doesn't make you skip a bunch of cutscenes unlike the earlier bits. Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious that people will want to try this a bunch of times. Okay, tie her up somehow. I can't use the tape, I can't use the wire. Cut tape. Cut wire. Get wire. Apply wire. Tie wire. Tie tape. Ah, you follow the creator's channel, okay. Secure with tape. Secure with wire. Examine Nessa. Look Nessa. Right, and the notes say secure NASA. Secure NASA. What would you like to lock NASA to? Secure NASA to cart. I guess I would wish to do this. Secure NASA with tape. Secure NASA with wire. Secure NASA to wheelbarrow. Secure NASA to wheelbarrow. Barrow. I'm not carrying a suitable item. You should be going to bed, Maple Mister. Yes, you should have been going to bed for the last few days. So there is like I did see the wheelbarrow over there, but I don't have like handcuffs or anything, and I can't use the. I think I might not be able to do this. I think I might need some item I don't have. Secure NASA to cart with tape. Secure NASA to cart with wire. Alt color cover to the game using EGA colors. I did think of that. She does need this cover for all intents and purposes, but having an alternative one with EGA colors would be interesting, yes. And of course lower resolution. Secure NASA to cart. You aren't carrying suitable item. Okay, so I don't think I can do this. I think I would need an item that I didn't bring. That's a shame. All right, I think I'm gonna call it here. It's fine. It's fine. I have already stopped the timer. But yeah, very good game. Let me move over here. That was the Crimson Diamond. As I've mentioned before, I do like adventure games, but I rarely finish them. I can count on one hand the ones I have. I'm actually... You had a blast watching me. Well, thank you for the key. Full disclosure, I was given the press review serial key to this game by Maple Mystery, the single dev of the game. And thank you for giving it to me. I did enjoy it a lot. Like I was saying, I cannot remember one other adventure game that I've actually finished. No, that's not true. No, I did finish a couple of Monkey Island games as well. And Day of the Tentacle, which is my favorite one. I rarely finish adventure games because I get stuck in them. This game was like, especially for a text parser, it was very civilized, which I do appreciate a lot. I did enjoy the fact that it has plenty of reason to do a second playthrough. I always appreciate that, even though I never do a second playthrough of games. I talked about this a lot. I have way too many games to play the same one more than once. I did enjoy my time with it. It was not too long. That's something that adventure games sometimes do. You can't have it be too long. And again, like the characters were interested and very varied. I actually memorized their names, which is incredibly hard for me to do. And like McCall was saying that when he was stuck on trying to deal with the vanity on Margot's room or boudoir, whatever it's called, boudoir. He was saying that it's difficult, if not borderline impossible, to play one of these if you're not a native English speaker. And I posted in chat, I'm not a native English speaker, but I managed to just fine. Like with everything, it was very straightforward. Like even some of the stuff, like because I used the expression lift fingerprints and it worked. But I realized by watching McCall play that you could just type take fingerprints and it would also have worked. You weren't paying attention, everyone else got inside, so I'll give it a try. I'm very glad you did. I hadn't heard about the game before this. I'm very bad at following new game releases because I don't know, it's just so much stuff that I don't. The first time I heard about one was when I got the email from Maple Mystery. But yeah, the game is very civilized. The review system is amazing. It's even better than the notebook. Like the notebook, at first I was using it. Eventually I realized I didn't have to. But it's good to have multiple systems to help the player not lose track of what he's doing. Review system is a godsend. Yeah, it was very interesting. It was very well crafted. Like all the descriptions were interesting and colorful and different. I talked about this before. You could just have, yeah, there's a door to the west, door to the south, whatever. No, everything is carefully written. It's very there's a lot of love, of course, a lot of care put into the art style and everything. And some of those scenes, like especially that one with the train, when you get the flashback to Carl throwing her luggage out, that one was really impressive. And once again, the game puts you into that comfy feeling. Okay, this is a light adventure game. It's very wholesome and everything. And then when shit happens, it's more impactful because of that. Because I always have a problem when a game has a slow burn. An adventure game needs it, especially a mystery game needs it. But I'm not good with a slow burn because it requires patience, and I know that not every game like has a good payoff. So you go through this slow burn and you get immersed into the world and the game doesn't pay off and you're like, bullshit. This game had very good payoffs, more than one. It had multiple payoffs, like, okay, you gave me your time and your attention, getting immersed into the world, getting to know the characters. Here's my reward for you for doing that multiple times. So, fantastic game. Of course, it is a little bit niche. Not everyone is going to want a game that has EJ graphics, not everyone is into adventure games, not everyone has the patience to read a lot and do text parser stuff. But if you are even slightly interested in any of those things, you can do a lot worse than the Crimson Diamond. I think that it's still, because it's the first week, I think it still has a 10%. Let me check actually. Seeing the Crimson Diamond. Crimson Diamond, there you go. It still has, let me see. It still has a 10% discount. It's really cheap. Thank you for original pricing. It's extremely important. I could actually afford this game if I had to. DLC and Season Pass, please don't. Please don't. Review was relatively late edition, you're glad you did. The review was very important. Like, it's not just, you know, what am I supposed to do? Like, McCall was playing the game, he was using review constantly. And it's like, if you build the sequel and you start thinking about the review system from the beginning, you can make it work better, I think. With like exactly what kind of information you give at any given point. The look descriptions actually reminded me a lot more Mud than... I was thinking of Mud, actually, when I was talking about the descriptions of the doors, of the exits. I was thinking of Muds as well. Yeah, Steam does do the original pricing, but some devs are stupid and don't use it for some reason. So be aware that it's very important for some of us. If I can smell from a mile away when a game has the wrong pricing for my region, and I just, you know, you don't want my money now, you want my money when it's 90% off. EA doesn't use it at all. Yeah, they're one of those. So yeah, in the end, I'm gonna give this obviously a 2 thumbs up. It's very good shit. And if you are wondering how a text-sparse adventure game should be played, this is a good one. I kind of feel like I want to play another text-sparse adventure game, but I know the other ones are gonna be bullshit. Especially the Sierra ones. So yeah, this is top of the list for me as far as adventure games go. I think I've only finished 5 adventure games in my entire life. This was one of them. And in most of them I had to push myself to finish. This one I didn't. So this one I went back to replay a few parts of it because I wanted to, because it was so much fun. So yeah, very good shit. I think that's my best score for a game on stream so far. But yeah, fully recommend it, and I'm gonna make a little bit of pause on my speech here so I can cut the VOD. Good shit.